ओ ओ ओ गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरम्। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। My pranams to Sadguru, my pranams to all. Slowly open your eyes. Okay, so today is the final session for your Atma Darshana batch. Typically it's 9 sessions, 9 months, but this time we have premature delivery and we'll do the inquiry today. Before we start, let's do a quick recap or understanding. I'd like to understand from each one of you what has been the insight, understanding, realization, experience, or wisdom so far. So, Mithali ji.
नमस्कार। मेरी समझ मेरे समझ में जो चीज़ सरल अर्थ में समझ में आई है कि देयर इज नो डुअलिटी। आप ड्रीम लैंड में हो, जो भी कर रहे हैं आप ड्रीम में हो और आपको इसी में अपने जो अंतरात्मा है, जो ब्रह्म है, उसको समझना है और उसी में टिके रहना है, को पकड़ के चलना है। और वो इस तरीके से है कि आप ओशन में बाकी सारे जिन लोगों ने इसका वर्णना किया है कि ब्रह्म क्या है, वो सिर्फ वेद के बारे में बता सकते हैं साइड में खड़े होके। उसको समझने के लिए उसके अंदर घुसना है। लाइक आप अगर एज ए सॉल्ट का कोई गुड़िया हो और नमक उसी में अगर छलांग लगा के समझना चाहो कि डीप में उसमें क्या है, तो आप उसी में पिघल जाओगे। उस चीज़ को समझना कि जो भी मेरे आसपास घटना घट रही है वो सारे ड्रीम है, वो मेरे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है। बस अपने आप को समझने की कोशिश करके उसको कंट्रोल अपने आप ही कंट्रोल हो जाएगा, जो हम लोग रियल लाइफ में समझ रहे हैं। एक जो आपका विश्वास है, जो समझ है अंतरात्मा के बारे में, ब्रह्म के बारे में, अपने ईगो को कोशिश करें कि कंट्रोल करें या उसको फिनिश करें। ऐसे ही नॉन डुअलिटी, जो कि अभी थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, लेकिन कोशिश कर रही हूँ समझने के लिए।
अरे बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत अच्छा। तो आपको बड़ा धन्यवाद देना पड़ेगा आपके ऑफिस लोगों को और जो भी आपको सताते हैं। ज्ञान इतना डीप उतर गया आपके मन में। बहुत अच्छा।
थैंक यू।
तो आप कौन है?
मैं ब्रह्म हूँ, लेकिन अभी भी ड्रीम लैंड में है। और मेरे अभी भी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जिसको मैं पूरी तरीके से छोड़ नहीं पाई हूँ। कोशिश है कि चीजों से अपने आप को, जो मैं है, उसको समझ के अलग रखने की कोशिश करूँ। लेकिन वो आई थिंक एक प्रोसेस है, निरंतर प्रक्रिया है, जिसको करते करते आ जाएगा। वन फाइन मोमेंट जिस दिन हो जाएगा।
कोशिश कौन करता है?
कोशिश में जो ब्रह्म है, ब्रह्म ब्रह्म तो कुछ नहीं
ब्रह्म
करता,
कोशिश
जो
नहीं
मैं
करता।
हूँ ब्रह्म कुछ नहीं करता। जो
हाँ,
मैं है, मेरे अंदर जो अभी भी ईगो है, या जो अलग, जो ड्रीम लैंड में भी अपने आप को स्थापित करके रखा है, वो कोशिश कर रहा है कि ब्रह्म से उसकी परिचय
कोशिश
हो जाए।
कोशिश करने से नहीं होगा। कोशिश
ओके।
तो लोग कितने सालों
अगर
से कर रहे हैं।
हम्म,
हाँ, तो वो सब ऋषि मुनि कोशिश करते हैं, हिमालय जाके कोशिश करते हैं। वहां जाके क्या पता चलता है कि कोशिश करने वाला नहीं है, वो जो कोशिश कर रहा है वही प्रॉब्लम है।
वो सब छोड़ दो वाला मामला ना पूरी तरह से नहीं हो पा रहा है कि
नहीं
छोड़
नहीं,
दो।
सब सब छोड़ना नहीं है। जो आप पकड़ के रखे हैं उसको देखिए।
हम्म,
आप बोल रहे हैं मैं ब्रह्म हूँ, वो सही बात है। मैं ब्रह्म हूं, लेकिन लेकिन कुछ गैप है। वो लेकिन कुछ गैप माया है, सच नहीं है। और वो माया कोशिश कर से नहीं निकाला जा सकता। सिर्फ ज्ञान से आप कितना भी कोशिश कीजिए, वो ईगो को निकालने के लिए या वो लेकिन को निकालने के लिए वो नहीं होता। सिर्फ, और वो जैसे आपने स्टार्ट किया ना, मैं ब्रह्म हूं, वही फुल स्टॉप लगा दो, कॉमा नहीं। तो आपने मैं ब्रह्म हूं, कॉमा, लेकिन मैं ब्रह्म
हाँ।
हूं, फुल स्टॉप लगा दीजिए। तब क्या होता है, मन कुछ आ, बातें बोलता है कि मैं कैसे ब्रह्म हो सकता हूँ, मुझे ऑफिस जाना है। ब्रह्म को ऑफिस नहीं जाना है। ठीक है, तो वो सब बातें मन बताएगा। तब आपको गुरु का वचन और शास्त्र का ज्ञान फिर से दोहराना है मन में, और समझना है मैं ब्रह्म हूं, और जो भी हो रहा है ये मन और बुद्धि कर रहा है, मैं देखने वाला हूं। कोशिश भी, कोशिश को भी आप देखते हैं।
ओके।
ठीक है, आप करते नहीं, आप कभी भी कोशिश कर नहीं सकते। आप कोशिश करते हैं क्या? आप चाय बनाते हैं?
नहीं।
वो क्लास अटेंड किया आपने, वो चाय बनाने का क्लास?
हाँ
तो
हाँ।
आप चाय बना नहीं सकती, तो कोशिश कैसे कर सकते हैं आप? तो कोशिश कौन करता है?
जो अज्ञानी है, जो अविद्याधारी है, वो वही
चाय
कोशिश
कौन
करता
बनाता है?
है। चाय, हम्म,
कौन बनाता है चाय?
चाय तो मैं ही बना रही हूँ, लेकिन
आप बना रही है?
ना, मतलब
आपने चीनी बनाया, दूध बनाया?
नहीं, नहीं। बहुत सारे
आप,
की कोशिश, बहुत सारे के प्रयास के बाद वो बन पा रहा है, ऑब्वियसली।
हाँ
मैं सिर्फ असेंबल कर रही हूँ चीजों को।
हाँ, असेंबल करने के लिए हाथ आपने उठाया?
नहीं,
हाँ, तो
वो भी
कैसे आपने बनाया?
परमात्मा की कृपा से।
परमात्मा की कृपा से सही, बट कौन बनाया चाय?
चाय यूनिवर्स।
यूनिवर्स ने बनाया, हाँ। तो कोशिश कौन करता है?
जो अज्ञानी है, जो अपने ईगो को पकड़ पकड़ के अभी बैठा हुआ है।
वो कैसे कर सकता है? वो अपना हाथ ऊपर नहीं उठा सकता, वो कैसे कर सकता है अज्ञानी? सी, चाय बनाना और साधना करना, कोशिश करना एक ही बात है। दोनों में कर्म है और कर्ता है।
हम्म,
तो मैं
हम्म,
पूछ रहा हूं, वो कर्म दोनों सेम ही है, चाय बनाना या साधना करना।
हम्म,
तो ये जेन लोग है जापान में, वो सब चाय बनाना ही साधना जैसे करते हैं। आपने देखा है?
हाँ।
उनके यहाँ चाय बनाना, झाड़ू पोछा मारना, सोना, उठना, बैठना, चलना,
हम्म,
लिखना, सब सब ध्यान है, सब साधना है। ठीक है, तो चाय बनाना और साधना में कोई फर्क नहीं है,
हम्म,
दोनों कर्म ही है। पर कर्ता कौन है?
कर्ता सृष्टि है।
कर्ता वो मन और देह,
देह,
प्रकृति है।
जो शरीर, मन और बुद्धि, हाँ प्रकृति।
वो प्रकृति है, वो अपने आप चलता है, वो अपने आप थॉट आता है मुझे चाहिए, वो आपने नहीं बनाया। मुझे चाय चाहिए, आपने नहीं बनाया, वो आता है, अपने आप आता है। ठीक है। और अपने आप दूध आता है, चाय, चीनी आता है, सब आग आता है, और अपने आप दे हाथ उठता है, अब चाय चाय बन जाता है। तो चाय बनाने वाला कौन है?
चाय बनाने वाला,
आपको सिर्फ समझना है, चाय बनाने वाला मैं नहीं हूं।
मैं नहीं।
आपके बिना चाय नहीं हो सकती, पर आप चाय बनाने वाले नहीं हो। आप सबका साक्षी हो, और साक्षी को करता नहीं है, और साक्षी को साधना की जरूरत नहीं है। आज वो साक्षी ही ब्रह्म है। तो मैं ब्रह्म हूं, फुल स्टॉप। लेकिन नहीं वो लेकिन जो भी बोलता है, पूछिए आप कौन है ये, कौन है ये जो लेकिन बोल रहा है, कौन है?
वो मेरा मन, मेरा बुद्धि,
वो
मेरा
बोल रहे हैं।
अविद्या, वो मिलके ला रहे हैं कि मैं बना रही हूँ।
हाँ, वो सब मरे हुए हैं, जड़ है, कंप्यूटर जैसे हैं। उनमें कोई चेतना है क्या?
नहीं।
मन तो एक कंप्यूटर है, ठीक है, वो कुछ इमेजेस, साउंड और प्रोसेसिंग करता है। आत्मा के बिना वो कुछ भी काम नहीं करता। ठीक है। तो जो भी ये बोल रहा है लेकिन मुझे कुछ करना है, वो कौन है? What is the ego? Ego is a word that you're using. What is the ego?
So, misidentification.
What is that?
Misconception.
So when you say misconception is there in me, what is that? Is it a thought? Is it a concept? What is it? What is the ego?
एक थॉट है।
Ego एक thought है, it's a thought. Okay, so you get a ego thought now, I thought. Then you get an I thought 2 minutes later. Is the same I thought? Two I thoughts the same?
No.
No. So how many egos are there? As many thoughts, that many egos are there. You think I have one ego. No, ego is a thought. And the thought is not continuous. Then there is, after 10 ego thoughts, there is one thought that, okay, there is only one ego. There is one thought. So what is ego? It's a thought. I thought. I thought is data. Okay, it's data that is illuminated by the self. It is insentient, like the rock, like the stone. It's insentient. Okay, but that I thought is able to pretend as if it's the self, real I. You understand? But it's just a object which is pretending to be a subject. So whenever you say I have to do something, I have to do sadhana, who has to do sadhana? मुक्ति के लिए साधना की जरूरत नहीं है। मोक्ष के लिए साधना की जरूरत नहीं। There's no requirement for effort for liberation. Zero effort. That's why Shri Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Means drop all effort. That's the last thing that he says to Arjuna.
So in other words, that is being. Is sadhana.
Being is not sadhana, because being is not doing. Being is awareness. Awareness is not action. Is awareness action? In deep sleep, is there action? There's awareness. That is being. Awareness is not action. ठीक है? So whoever मुझे कुछ करना है, ये जो बोलता है, the only thing you have to do is Question, who is that who wants to do? मैं ब्रह्म हूं, लेकिन मुझे ये जानना है. तब पूछिए, who is that who wants to know? I am Brahman, but still I have to know something. Who wants to know? I am Brahman, but still I have to do something. Who wants to do? I am Brahman, full stop. I am Brahman, be Brahman. The one, the continuation is coming from the mind. From the mind, from the ego. But you question the ego, who is this? Then you will see Brahman alone remains. What happens when you question who has to do? You tell me, who has to do? You drank tea now. Who drank the tea? Consciousness doesn't drink tea. Who drank the tea? Body drank the tea? It went inside the body. Well, who drank the tea? Who else came to the class drinking tea and coffee? There's no answer. Okay, don't think that I have some answer. No, there's no answer. Because there's no real entity there. Things are happening. There is nobody to take ownership. Okay, if you withdraw the ownership, things will still continue to happen. Okay, you think ownership is required because there has to be order. There's perfect order in existence without ownership. Drinking tea, chai, banana, chai, pina, this is a very small task. The entire galaxy, billions of stars, okay, multiverse is functioning without ownership. Is there any ownership for the rain? When it rains, is there any ownership? And the nature wipes out many human beings, tsunami or something. Is there any ownership? That's why nature doesn't sit in depression after killing so many people, because it doesn't take ownership. There's no ownership in existence. Okay, humongous tasks at a macroscopic level, at a microscopic level are happening with great intelligence, with perfection. Okay, a child is being formed within the womb with great intelligence. Two eyes perfectly come here. One eye doesn't go here, one eye doesn't go here. Okay, there's perfect intelligence at the microscopic level, quantum level, and macro level, but no ownership. But the mother says confidently, I made the child. Right? You can't even drink tea and you made child, which is highly evolved, intelligent being. You would like to take ownership, I understand. Yeah, I made this great being, yes. But in reality, nothing. Did you drink tea? तो चाय बनाए आपने, मिताली जी?
नहीं, चाय नहीं बनाई.
बच्चे बनाए?
नो.
काम ऑफिस में काम किया?
नहीं.
हाँ, ये बात आप ऑफिस में मत बताना मैंने कुछ काम नहीं किया तो डांट पड़ेगी. तो जब आप पूछती है किसने किया, यही वेदांत का मार्ग है. पूछो. That is called self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is not doing who am I, japa. Whenever you are slipping into doer, enjoyer, thinker, ego, identity, ask who. Okay, and shut your mouth. Ask and who is feeling guilty? Question is why I feel guilty? Who is feeling guilty? Who is we? Sir, why are we feeling guilty? You're including all of these people into we. How do you know that she's feeling guilty? What is the sentence now? Question? Why do I feel guilty? Who is the I who is feeling guilty? You don't repeat the answer, just think and tell them. Who is feeling guilty?
The emotion arises, no?
Emotion arises, waves arise, dogs bark. That is a nature. Emotions arise, dogs bark. But why are you telling that is me? When the dog barks, you tell I am barking? You tell? There is a barking. But do you tell I am barking?
No.
So when the
Some other.
where is the emotion coming from?
I'm feeling it.
No, you are telling I am feeling the emotion because you are telling this is me. It is also arising. Like the dog barking, there is honking, there is waves rising, there is emotions rising and falling. Has any emotions continued?
No.
Maybe dogs will bark longer in the night, but emotions will not continue for so long. Emotions continue for a long time.
No, we didn't.
Even if you think when its expiry date is gone, when it's expired, you cannot feel it. You can psychologically think about it, but you won't have the feeling. So they rise and fall. And rising or falling is the nature of everything in the world. Sun rises and sets. So who is I? Who is guilty?
The locus point for that rising and falling of that emotion.
We'll see that. Okay. So मिथाली जी समझ में आ गया? तो क्या समझ में आया?
कि जब भी ये प्रश्न मन में आए कि किसने बनाया, उसका कोई आंसर नहीं है. मैंने नहीं बनाया, ये एज पर नेचर ये हो रहा है, और इसी को हमें एक्सेप्ट कर लेना है और अपने आप को जो ओनरशिप है उससे
मैंने बनाया, मैंने नहीं बनाया, दोनों गलत है. आप सिर्फ चुप बैठ के मैं ब्रह्म हूं. You can, whatever statement you make apart from I am consciousness is false. And that I am consciousness also is not a statement. That's only for our conversation purpose. It is a deep inner knowing. Anything spoken is relative. Whatever is absolute, which is you, cannot be spoken about. Okay? So know for a fact that whatever is spoken is relative. Be it the highest wisdom is still only a pointer. It's not absolute. The absolute can never be spoken about. Can it be known? So there's something that I can know. Okay? The science can know. Human beings can know. Human beings have a higher knowing faculty. There are some things that are unknown right now, but tomorrow they'll be known because of science. The discoveries will be made. Maybe like a few thousand years ago, they didn't know about something, but now they know. Okay, so there's something that is known, already known to you. Then there is something that is unknown, which will probably come to your realm of knowledge tomorrow. Okay, maybe some person you don't know now, you'll meet the person and you'll know about that person. So there is something known, there's something unknown but knowable. Then there is something unknowable. You can never know it. That is Brahman. Brahman can never be known because Brahman is not an object. Okay, then what is the whole point of attending these sessions? If I can't know Brahman, if I can't know myself, then what is the whole point of Vedanta? Brahman can never be known, but the whole point of Vedanta is to know Brahman. That is the paradox. Brahman cannot be known as object or subject because Brahman is beyond subject. You can know a subject, you can know an object. Subject is me, object is something that I know. Brahman is beyond both. In Brahman, knower, known, merge into just knowledge. The example is deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is no object, there is no subject, but there's an awareness. Okay, but can that awareness know itself? Can, not in deep sleep. In waking state, that is called mukti. To know yourself as an unknowable, Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati. To know is to be that. The only way to know that is to be that. Okay? It's not to become that. It's not that मैं ब्रह्म बनूंगा, नहीं, मैं ब्रह्म हूं. और जो भी मन बताएगा रीजंस कि मैं कैसे ब्रह्म हो सकता हूं, whatever arguments the mind brings up to tell I am not Brahma, you have to strike down with the logic of teaching. And the teaching is called Atma Gnana. Through Vichara, you put the spotlight on the one who is arguing, I am Brahman. Then you'll find there is nobody. Then there is nobody to say, I am Brahman also. What remains is Brahman. So, Sheshariji, what are your insights? What is the understanding so far?
I am not this body or mind or buddhi, as we have been discussing. I am Atma. The nature of Atma is bliss, and that doesn't depend on any object. And everything is Brahman.
That's it?
I am Brahman and everything is Brahman.
Wonderful. Over. Your class is over. You don't even need the 8th session. That's all. Very good. So no doubts? No? Is there any doubts in that? Whatever you just said? Is it clear? That's all there is. Sumanji, any doubt? You have an enlightened husband now.
For me, it is last class rainbow thing, that Sarvam Khalu Vida Brahma. Now everything is wherever it is. I know it is all faulty or limited instruments, and for those images, we have a scientific explanation. So everything that I see, touch, whatever I do with my senses is Brahman. So what is not, that is what I am.
Very good. Very nice.
But one thing I have still is, he does meditation and all that thing. I can't sit quietly and do all that. For me, it is more practically, I just want to see, okay, oh no. I always go back to my rainbow example and the beautiful explanation and the way I have understood. Okay, whatever I'm seeing is Brahman. It's just a limited part that I'm seeing. There is more beyond which I cannot see with this eyes. So that's it. Okay, Brahman. So that thought keeps on hovering in my brain. I can do that part. The sitting bit part, that sadhana is not happening.
Who has to sit?
That whatever thought that says the sadhana has to be done, I think something somewhere it's not happening. I don't want to, something like that.
No, who doesn't want to or who wants to? Whoever says I want to meditate or whoever says I don't want to meditate, who is that?
It's all a thought that there's one information that says you have to do sadhana meditation, and there is another thought that is from this mind which says you can't do it type.
So if you're Brahman, do you need meditation?
No, that's what with all this discussion I don't need, because I am seeing and I can feel it. Whatever I have understood, that Sarvam Khalu Vida Brahma has properly sunk in and it is there.
That's all. Gnana is primary. Okay. So after Gnana, Dhyana will automatically naturally happen. If you want or don't want, it's a thought of the mind. So what happens after Gnana is there is something called a spontaneous meditation. Like in nature, spontaneously things happen. There's a spontaneous growing of plants, trees, rain. Everything spontaneously happens in nature. In the same way, after Gnana, spontaneous samadhis start happening. Okay, it's not a doing. It will happen on its own. It'll rise, it'll fall, and there will be nobody to take ownership of even that. Okay, so but before Gnana, whatever meditation you do, dhyana is not meditation. Okay, the real dhyana happens only after Atma Gnana, because whatever dhyana is done earlier is only silencing of the mind. It's not annihilation of the mind. The root is still there. So I meditate, then I open my eyes, again everything comes back. Only when I'm meditating, there is some peace and silence. But after Atmagnana, or maybe during these sessions, in the Atmagnana sessions, you will find that when your mind is becoming so clear about the truth, no thoughts arise. That itself is meditation. Okay? Then there is the inner pull to actually withdraw more. That's also a natural pull. That will happen on its own. Okay, so very happy that it's happening naturally, and if it is not happening, let it happen naturally. But wherever you say I want, I don't want, ask who is the I. Find out who is the I, because Brahman doesn't want to meditate. Brahman doesn't want to not meditate also. Brahman is. Okay, very good. Very happy to hear.
Thank you.
Kundanji? You're on mute.
Things have changed definitely, and हर शब्द का अर्थ, विशेष अर्थ अब खोजने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. कोई भी टेक्स्ट पढ़ता हूँ तो उसका निहित जो सार है वो समझ में आ जाता है. और मनोदशा जो मतलब मेंटल स्टेट जो होता है वो जो फ्लक्चुएट करता है वो भी अब ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए समझ में आ जाता है कि मैं उसमें ऑब्जर्व करता हूँ. ऑफिस में भी काम करता हूँ तो आई कैन सी कि क्या काम हो रहा है, कैसे काम हो रहा है. उसमें एक आनंद भी आता है क्योंकि जब डूअरशिप छोड़ते हैं और फिर भी काम होता रहता है, जो आपने बोला, तो जैसे गाड़ी में आप स्टीयरिंग चला के रखते हैं, पकड़ के रखते हैं और लगता है, और फिर छोड़ दें और फिर भी गाड़ी चल रही है और सही तरीके से चल रही है. तो एक अपना अलग भाव है. खाने में भी मजा आता है मुझे ये लगता है कि शरीर के माध्यम से ही वो स्वाद का भी अनुभूति का एक भगवान ने ऐसा संयोग बनाया है, तो उसमें भी आनंद आता है. मैंने पहले, आपको शायद याद होगा, मैंने कहा था कि थकान नहीं होती है. काम करता हूँ क्योंकि डूअरशिप नहीं है तो कितना भी काम होता है और मुझे लगता है बस काम होता चला जा रहा है. और जैसे पहले लगता था कि आप थक गया, तो अंदर से आता है कि थका कौन, तो नहीं थका कोई. ये साफ अंतर दिखाई दे रहा है. मतलब जो भी माँ की कृपा रही है और आपके माध्यम से जो भी एक ये जो संचार हो रहा है ना, जो कंटिन्यूस हो रहा है, और जो आपने कहा ना कि वो जो अननोन, जो कभी जिसको समझा नहीं जा सकता, बियॉन्ड नो, वो है, उसकी भी अनुभूति होती है. क्योंकि वो फिर जो अद्वैत का भाव आता है ना, जिसमें जो सामने मेरे पिलो कवर भी रखा है तो वो और मैं में कोई अंतर नहीं पता चलता है ना, तो वो भी एक ऐसा नहीं तो हमेशा लगता है, लेकिन जिस समय वो आता है तो वो अपना एक यूनिक, आपने बोला स्पॉन्टेनियस आता है. तो वो रिलेट के वो स्पॉन्टेनियस है. मैं सिर्फ उसको ऑब्जर्व करता हूँ कि ये हुआ, जैसे होता है कहीं पर बिजली कड़कती है, वैसे ये हो रहा है. आई कैन सी इट. और माँ के माध्यम से, हाँ, माध्यम से जो भी अनुभूति हो रहा है, तो धन्यवाद.
तो वो जो भी हो रहा है, whatever is happening spontaneously, the silence or the insights or wisdom kicking in, detachment, all these will deepen. Okay, and they'll start growing, and they'll become more prominent. They'll become the reality. So far, what was in the background, which is consciousness, was in the background, and in the foreground, there was the world. So that will flip. The world will become the background, and the foreground will always be consciousness. Okay, then so much so then you have to do meditation to find world. Now you have to do meditation to find Brahman. You have to do meditation to find world because it's unreal. तो आपने बोला जो भी सेंसेशन है सब वो नॉन डुअलिटी है. सो इसीलिए वो which is that Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu, which song? There is a song on Dev. I'm not able to recollect the name. So it goes that Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu Matru Rupena Samsita Namastatsye Namastasye Namastasye Namuna Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu Shuddha Rupena Samsita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. So ऐसे वो सबको describe करते हैं. The hunger in me is the Divine Mother. You can eat the food, but for you to taste, you're not doing that. For you to digest, you're not doing that. For you to lift your hand, you're not doing that. For you to see, you're not doing that. All of these are divine actions operating through your body mind. And all of those are Mother, Divine Mother. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shuddha Rupena Samsita. She is in you as hunger. She is in you as sight. She is in you as taste. She is in you as thinking ability. Many people don't have thinking ability. Okay.
ये आपने ये जो बताया ना, ये दक्षिणेश्वर की काली मंदिर के दीवारों पे ना लिखा हुआ है, एक्सप्लेन भी किया हुआ है, लेकिन उस समय समझ में नहीं आया था. पढ़ पे लिया था, लेकिन इतने अच्छे से समझ में नहीं आया था कि इसका एक्चुअल मीनिंग क्या है.
जो भी आप अभी ग्रांटेड ले रहे हैं, whatever you take for granted in your life is actually a gift of the Divine Mother. Many people can't see. Many people can't hear. Many people can't think. Many people can't feel hunger. Anorexic they become. Okay. Many people can't digest food. Whatever you ordinarily eat, for some people it's poison because they're allergic. Okay. So what you take for granted in your life is actually a gift somebody is begging for and craving and praying for right now. But you take for granted. So that is a divine. Every single aspect of your life is taken care by divine. Not even one movement, thought, emotion, any movement is done by you. Not a single movement. The cells, they on their own accord, in their own intelligence, they multiply. If the disease comes, the body heals on its own intelligence. There is nothing that you are doing. Okay? When you understand this, when you observe this, you become free from guilt. Guilt is what I am doing is thought. It's the guilt. Guilt is what I should not have done. You never did. To tell I should not have done, you should have done, right? Did you do it in the first place? No, you tell me. Forget about that. Forget about the argument that, okay, then I can do anything. You tell me whatever you feel guilty for, in the light of what I said, did you do that action? When this becomes clear, you become free from it. Then there will not be a question that I can do anything and get away with this. No. That is not the byproduct of wisdom. In wisdom, once the doership disappears, you become in tune with the nature. Whatever is destructive for the nature, you don't do. So you don't have to worry about, oh, you're telling that the logic of, oh, then I can kill anybody and I can tell I'm not the doer. That logic is irrelevant. That is, you're telling when you're not understood who is a doer. When you understand who is a doer, that question won't arise, because the real doer will never do that. You understand? Okay.
There is Kama Sangeet that is in Bangla. I don't understand Bangla much, but I listen to that song where it says about Ma that Tumi Ami Yantra Tumi Yantri, means I am the machine and you are the operator.
Yeah.
So
But you are not the machine.
No, machine in the sense like this.
No, I understood what it's saying.
Yeah.
So I'm telling, so that is the teaching. I understand the teaching. I mean, Krishna tells Nimitta Matram that you are an instrument. But all that is for certain stages. Today, in the final session, you've come to the stage where you're not the machine. Neither are you the doer. Okay? Neither are you any this or that. You are pure awareness Brahman. Okay? So you have to outgrow I am the servant of the Lord also. You have to outgrow I am the instrument of the Lord. There is still duality. Me, I am there, Lord is there. I am his instrument. Vedanta or non-duality or Atma Gnana is going all beyond all dualities. So in non-duality, the statement that you make is Ma is in me as me. There is no difference between me and Ma. I am. What is the sentence, Kundanji?
I am.
I am that. I am Ma.
Yeah.
Any doubt in that? No. That's all. This is the final teaching of Ma.
Yes.
Anything else, there is a duality. I am Ma. Huh?
Since last couple of days, I am getting the same message.
I am Ma. Because Ma is not body. Don't think, oh, how can I be Ma? I am not a woman. Ma is not body. How can I be Ma? I cannot speak like her. Ma is not mind. How can I be Ma? I don't have Gnan like her. That is, Ma is not intellect. Ma is consciousness. You are also consciousness. And there are no two consciousnesses. Ma is consciousness. I am consciousness. So there is no me and Ma. There is only consciousness. Pallaviji?
Namaste, Sadhguru. Everything is just happening, and I'm not the changing I. I'm the pure I. Is what I'm observing now.
Who is observing?
I'm the Sakshi.
You're the Sakshi. Okay. Prasadji?
I think along the same lines, like others said, I am Atma Brahma. I think that is, and then Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma is.
Your voice is not clear.
Sorry, with the microphone. And I was saying, I am Atma Brahma and Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma is quite deeply rooted, I must say.
Okay.
And then, obviously, kind of the thoughts can be, the thoughts become observable.
Okay.
That's kind of a progression, I can say. Obviously, because before it wasn't there, but there are, still, there are things, the emotions that arise, that, there is a feeling that the thing needs to be controlled, but then, as you say, for whom is that, basically?
Yeah.
And then when I kind of inquire that, I think it stays there and then it just disappears.
Yeah.
And so so that way the guilt doesn't arise as much.
Yeah.
From what I personally have observed.
So who are you?
And at work, I'm nobody. I am Brahman.
Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's more peaceful that way. Even at work, I'm much more calm, much more peaceful.
Very nice.
I don't really worry about my targets. If they are not met, they're not
Oh my
met.
God, that's a big problem then.
No, I mean it happens on its own. Everything happens. There's nobody to worry. Also, I mean, there's
Yeah.
no point in worrying because there's nobody.
Right.
And I keep telling to myself when I say in the mind, everything, as you say, it's insentient. I keep saying everything is jada. There's nothing that's there except the consciousness. So
Yeah.
that way, there's nothing to worry about.
Very nice. So everything is not jada.
I mean, body mind is jada. So that way,
Body mind also is not jada. Body mind is jada for starting the inquiry. So it is for telling, that is applying viveka. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. And then you say, I am consciousness. Then everything is consciousness. Body mind also is consciousness.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So there is no such thing as jada in existence in that sense. In the absolute sense, there is only consciousness. Whatever is consciousness. Okay, there is no I am Sakshi, this is Saksham. There is also duality, right? I am witnesser, this is witnessed. I am witnessing my emotions. The emotions are witnessed, I am the witnesser. That is beginning, of course. That is how you begin with, because there's no other way to begin, right? That's how you begin with. But how you end is no Sakshi, no Saksham, pure awareness. Whatever is perceived with open eyes, closed eyes, is consciousness only. How is that so? I'll explain today. Okay, so this is what the last session is about. In the last session, all these sessions are preparatory, so that you disconnect from what you're not. Okay, now you recognize what you are, and whatever is perceived is also the same reality, because they can never be Sakshi Shaksham in Brahman. They can never be me and not me in Brahman. The me, this is me and not me, is the beginning point. Is to remove avidya. But realization is Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. The body is also consciousness. Mind is also consciousness. Whatever is perceived is consciousness. Concepts are also consciousness. Everything is consciousness, pure awareness. Jogaji?
Whatever I had to say, you have spoken it out.
Okay. That's the easiest answer.
The part which you have told me, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu,
Yeah.
everything. You have made me further clear that each and every bit is everything of God given. Nothing is in our hand.
Yeah.
What I say is live the life to the fullest satisfaction.
Yeah.
Means whatever you do, you involve it and do it. Nothing more, nothing is like a prayer is a separate entity. Work is a separate entity.
Right.
Cleaning the bathroom is not a separate entity.
Yeah.
Every job given by them, and we have to utilize this mind, body, and intellect, which is also given by him.
So without gnana, what he said is, whatever you do, even sadhana, is asadhana. Without gnana. With gnana, whatever you do becomes puja.
Puja.
Okay. Without gnana, even if you do puja, it's not puja.
Yes.
Because there's a doer, there's a duality.
And this, my guru has asked me to explore and find it out, because it should be a aparoksha nibhati. The word I'm using, aparoksha, it should be my experience, which cannot be put in words. So the whole process, she has been guiding me this throughout, but she has never given me the answer. And any question answer until the person finds out, he doesn't give it to anybody, because it is for him to realize.
Right.
And this session, what I'm attending it, I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
it is His grace who has provided me, and Kundanji and you both provided me,
Yeah.
and Shashi Bhushan ji has provided me.
Yeah.
That is all. It happens in that format only. It is simple. If you want something, you will get it as and when you. If it is a genuine requirement,
Right.
I've seen everybody talks about miracles. I've seen that if it is a genuine requirement, it is a necessity. It happens.
Right.
So don't try for anything. It doesn't mean that you don't work. You have to live for it.
Perfect. Yeah. Exactly. Who did I leave out? Biplabji?
Namaste. So these days I am just, only I'll not use the word conflict because there's no conflict actually. I understand these things, but yes, there is one question which is kind of disturbing me. Again, you'll ask me who is getting disturbed. It's not, I am not getting disturbed in that ways.
My job
The
is
question
done.
is, yes, I know I'm not getting disturbed even exactly because I am aware of that.
तो इसीलिए शादी करवाया आपको, ठीक है? घर में एक गुरु है. So whenever she tells I did coffee, ask her who did coffee. Whenever he tells I am getting confused, I have conflict, ask him who is having conflict. See, Surekha, you get married now. You're missing all this opportunity. That's why for you enlightenment is longer. The moment you get married, you have a guru in the house. Whenever you tell I am guilty, you have to come here otherwise to Rajarajeshwari Nagar. If you are married, the husband will ask you who is feeling guilty.
So it was about like earlier I used to do the puja thing. So it was very much intense and like with all the hurt out kind of thing. So, but these days, while I do the puja, I get this question, किसका puja कर रहा हूँ? What I am doing. So it has become more of a ritual than a puja.
Your minds.
So exactly the word you used. So sometimes that question did arise in my mind, like, is this the right? I mean, no question. This is the right approach. Now, what should I do? That is, and how should I approach? What should I do? I mean, I don't feel that.
So the question is, after Gnana, should I do puja? Answer is very simple.
No. Yeah.
Answer is very simple. घर में बच्चे हैं.
Yes.
तो सब कुछ करो. ठीक है? जब तक बच्चे हैं, आपको नहीं चाहिए. अभी आप you have crossed it. You don't need it. But you have a responsibility. It's part of the responsibility that because you can't say I am now free. There is no duality. ये सब पूजा सब बंद. Then they will lose their way.
Got the point. Yes.
Okay. तो जब तक आप व्यवहार में हैं, व्यवहार करो.
Exactly. And आपने जो बात बोला, I'm sorry to interrupt. ये चीज हुआ practically अभी आपने जो बोला.
Okay.
So I generally, I mean, before sitting for japa and my meditation, जब भगवान को आरती करते हैं तो I again अगरबत्ती लेके पूरे घर में ऐसे ऐसे करके घुमाते हैं. तो few days I haven't done that. So my son asked me, क्या हुआ आजकल आप नहीं घुमाते हो? What is the purpose? इसका सिर्फ खुशबू अच्छा होता है इसलिए घुमाते थे, or is there a purpose behind it? What is the reason? So I explained, no, there is some positive vibes which comes, if you do this. So I forgot doing that because few days I missed that. So thanks for reminding me. So again I started doing so that he gets that habit and at least
आपके घर में दो गुरु हैं. So fortunate you are.
Right. So this is the only thing which was coming to mind, and I got the answer. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very nice. Okay, everybody's done. So no more questions. So have I told you all the story of that lion who becomes a sheep? Told you. So there is a. I'll just quickly go through the story is immaterial, but just as a reference point. There is a lioness that gives birth to a cub, and in the process she dies, and the cub is taken in by sheep. Okay, and they raise the child, and this cub grows up as a sheep. Then it starts eating grass and behaves like a sheep, and it's afraid of the lion. It's exactly like a sheep. It's a lion, but it's a sheep. Then finally, an actual lion from the wild comes in to eat sheep. It finds this young lion acting like sheep. Then it tells the lion that, no, you're not lion. You're not a sheep. You're a lion. Then this lion doesn't believe. Then finally, the elderly lion takes the younger lion to the pond where it shows the reflection face. See my face and see your face. Both are the same. Okay, both of us are lion. You're a lion. You're not a sheep. Then this lion, the younger lion, realizes it's a lion. This is the process of spirituality. The absolute reality has never changed, undergone any change. The lion has never undergone any change. It was born a lion. It lived like a lion. Even after realization, what was it? It never became a sheep, actually. The becoming of a sheep was only conceptual. Okay? So becoming Jiva, individual, is only conceptual. Brahman has never actually become anything apart from Brahman. The lion did not become sheep. Lion only doesn't know what it is. Okay? It was starting, it was a lion. In the middle, it was a lion. Later also, it's a lion. So this unchanging principle is like the absolute. This is called Paramarthika Satya, absolute reality. Okay? What is the Paramarthika Satya? Brahman alone is, will be. There is nothing apart from Brahman. Brahman is the reality. And who is that Brahman? I am that Brahman. Okay? So the lion never became a sheep. So there is the absolute reality, Paramarthika Satya. Then it starts believing it's something. Okay, it starts believing it's a sheep and it starts behaving like the sheep. So this is called Pratibhasika Satya. You don't know your reality, but that gap you need to fill with something. You will fill with unreality or mithya. That I am something. I am the body, I am the mind, I am this person. This is called Pratibhasika Satya. Pratibhasika means, Pratibha means reflection. You take yourself to be the image that is created, not the original. Okay? The sheep is the image of a sheep and the characteristics of a sheep. No matter how hard the lion tries, it cannot become a sheep. No matter how hard Brahman tries, he cannot become Jiva. But Brahman can have an ignorance that I am something else. Okay, that is called Pratibhasika Satya. Paramarthika, which is like the lion, absolute, unchanging. Pratibhasika, which is superimposition, to think I am something else. Then there is the third level, which is called the lion starts behaving like the sheep with the other sheep. Okay, it starts interacting. It starts acting on the concept that it carries. Okay, because Pratibhasika is still for you, in you. It's your concept. But with that concept, you interact with the world. That is called Vyavaharika. Okay. Now, Vyavaharika is a collective experience. It's not only limited to you. Okay, Vyavaharika Satya. Paramarthika Satya, absolute. Pratibhasika Satya, your individual. Vyavaharika Satya, universal. Okay, because when you see the stone, everybody sees the same stone. right? That is Vyavaharika Satya. Pratibhasika, you see the stone and maybe you see the cloud, everybody sees the cloud, but you see some formations in the cloud. That is your experience. That is your intervention, your impressions, which is not for everybody else. That is called Pratibhasika. Based on your impressions, you see the world a certain way. Okay. Then there is absolute, Paramarthika, which is the absolute reality, which is like the line, the unchanging, it never changes. The Vyavaharika is constantly undergoing change. The Pratibhasika is constantly undergoing change. Now the problem is, you're taken the Pratibhasika Satya as Paramarthika Satya, because you don't know the Paramarthika. So the lion has taken being a sheep as absolute reality. I am sheep. Then finally another lion comes. That other lion is the Guru, who is established in the Paramarthika, who has become completely free from the Pratibhasika. There is no Pratibhasika existence in the Guru's consciousness. No concepts, no identities. So the enlightened one, the Gnani, is free from all superimpositions, including the superimposition that I am Gnani, including the superimposition that I am enlightened, because that is also an identity, right? That is also Pratibhasika. So in the Gnani's case, what has gone? Pratibhasika is gone. Paramarthika remains, Vyavaharika remains. That's why the Gnani interacts. So don't ever think that Gnana will remove Vyavahara, the interaction with the world. Gnana doesn't mean the world will disappear. Gnana means identities will disappear. Then who interacts with the world? When the delusion that I am sheep is gone, who interacts with the world?
Brahman interacts with the world.
Lion only interacts with the world. Lion will eat the sheep. What happens when the Pratibhasika goes? What happened in the case of the lion when the lion lost the delusion that I am sheep? Now its whole existence as a sheep was rooted in the fear of being a prey. Now it's become the predator. It has lost the fear of the lion. So in Pratibhasika, as a jiva, you're always rooted in fear. Always. You came to this class because of fear. You came because of enlightenment. Half of you don't know what is enlightenment before coming to this class. You came because there's some problem. Okay, try करके देखते हैं, कुछ मिलेगा फायदा. Right? The fear runs your life, and that fear is because of the misconceptions about yourself you have. I am body, I am mind, I am intellect. Mainly, I am body. Okay, and you think you're the body, knowing very well the body is going to die. That is the problem. Knowing very well the body is going to age. So there is something doesn't match. You understand? You say I am the body. Body doesn't say I am you. You know that? You're telling, it's like telling, this is my child. Or rather telling, I love this person. But that person also has to reciprocate, right? For there to be love, it has to be mutual. It's like I know the Prime Minister, but the Prime Minister doesn't know me. It's useless. So you say, I am the body, but does the body also say, I am you? The body is crystal clear that it is changing. The nature of the body is change. That's why the body never is stagnant. It was this much, then it became 5 feet, 6 feet, then it ages, then it dies. If the body had a notion that I am something, it will freeze like that. It will not change. If the body had a notion that I am sick, you will never become healthy. Body doesn't hold to any solid identities. How can the body hold on that it is you? The body is clear that it's not you, but you go on in throwing yourself on the body. I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. See, if you are the body, you say, I am the body. That means what? Whatever the body is, I am that. But when the body was a baby, you said, I am the body. Then the body became adult, you say, I am the body. Then the body became corpse, you say, I am the body. But the body has changed. Whatever you're saying, I am, has changed. How can you be that changing? Whatever you say, I am right now. In Pratibhasika, whatever is told after I am this, I am engineer. For how long? I am young. For how long? I am male. I am female. For how long? After some time, you'll be corpse. I am artist. For how long? Can you be something permanently? Can you be anything permanently? So you're always referring to some impermanent thing as I am. That is called sheep. Pratibhasika. So Pratibhasika is clear to everybody. Whenever you associate with something impermanent, you're in Pratibhasika Satya. You're like the lion who's confusing them to be sheep. And that's why there is fear, there is emotion, there is everything else. Okay? When you realize I am Paramarthika, when the lion realizes I am lion, the first thing that happens is fear disappears. When the Jiva realizes he is Shiva or she is Shiva, first thing that happens is Bhaya disappears. The foundation of your existence collapses. That is enlightenment. Fear disappears. Fear is required only if you are the body. If you are not the body, why fear? Whatever happens to the body is not happening to me. That is the conviction of the Gnani, of the enlightened one. Okay? That's why they don't care about their body. When I say they don't care about their body, don't mistake that they'll be indifferent to the body. No, Krishna was using makeup and decorating his body. Not that he is indifferent to the body. Neither is he attached to the body. He uses the body. Understand? But he has no delusion that I am the body. So he's become free from the Pratibhasika. That's why when he's standing on the battlefield, he has no fear. Arjuna has fear. He's depressed. Why? He doesn't know Paramarthika. He's rooted in Pratibhasika. What is the cause of Arjuna's depression? He's attaching himself to something changing, identities. I'm a relative, I'm a son, I'm a soldier. All his I am is rooted in Pratibhasika. Delusions. So what delusion are you rooted in? I am a daughter. I have responsibilities. I am a woman. I have to be feminist. To be a feminist, you have to be a woman, no? Are you a woman? I don't understand this. I understand what is feminism. Fine, as a concept is there. But what are you? Same thing applies for men also. I am not doing a bias. Both the case. You have to identify with gender too? Yeah, you have to identify. It's not an argument. I'm talking this is not an argument. We're finding reality. What is the truth? Are you a woman? Body is what? Body has no notion.
So I'm not limited by definitions of what a woman, the conceptual whatever what a woman is.
Are you a woman? If you say I am a woman, that means you're telling I am a body. That body will become corpse. Will it not?
Correct. But doesn't the body have its reality? Like,
That's what I told. Vyavaharika it has. So in Vyavaharika, you have some roles and some place. The society has some roles. You will follow all that, but without ever confusing who I am. So Krishna is rooted in Paramarthika, but when it comes to Vyavahara, he relates to people like normally, however it needs to be. He doesn't break any societal rules. As long as you don't have the confusion, it's fine. But your whole movement comes from being deeply rooted in I am the body. You become enlightened, you become gnani, then you fight for women's right. That is different.
so you're choosing.
There also it's not absolute. If it's required only, there it's coming out of spontaneous intelligence. Now it's coming out of societal programming. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
Now, no, I'm just taking you as an example because there's nobody else here. What can I do? You're the only one. You're my bakra. Okay. So is everybody understanding? Paramarthika is absolute reality, and the absolute reality has never undergone any change. You were Brahman, you are Brahman. No matter what happens to your body mind, you are Brahman. That means you're beyond mukti and liberation. Okay? But there's a problem. The problem is the pratibhasika, the superimposition. And where does the superimposition come from? All your programmings, societal programmings. I am the body came from where? When you were born, you said, I am the body, I am this body, yeah, I got a body. No. People told you, this is me, that is you. Then you said, okay, this is me, that is you. That is absolutely false. Neither this is me, neither that is you. Okay? You are not the body. I am not the body. Is it clear to everybody? Any doubts? I am this body. Now, is it clear? I'll go to the next step. I have not gone to I am Brahman. I am not the body. Is it clear? The body is constantly undergoing change. You can tell 1,000 times I am this body. Body will reject it. Okay? When you say I am the body, you have a notion of the body. The body is like this. Is the body like that all the time? Within 8 years, every single cell in the body changes. Every single cell. That means in 8 years, you have a completely new body. Okay? You will age. Whatever you try to hold on to as I am will slip. You're not the body. You're not the mind. The mind is just a bundle of moving thoughts. Is there any body, at least from morning to night, you can tell it's the same. Mind, morning is one mind, and 7 a.m. one mind, 7:30 a.m. another mind, 8 a.m. one mind, in the house one mind, in the office one mind, in satsang one mind. Your mind changes even more. Unlike the body, it changes rapidly. If you're not the body, obviously you're not the mind. When I say you're not the mind, you're none of the thoughts of the mind. Then how can you make the statement, I am confused? How can you make the statement, I know, or I don't know? All pratibhasika. Okay. You need, mukti is becoming free from all these superimpositions, being established in the paramarthika. Then what remains is paramarthika and vyavaharika. Why vyavaharika remains? Because there's a body mind. Until the body mind is there, it will continue to do the vyavahara. Led by whom? Led by consciousness, led by the paramarthika. Now the one who is operating through the paramarthika in the Vyavaharika is Bhagavan himself. Is the lion only. The lion starts taking over now. And how is life when the lion takes over? You're the king of the jungle. When the lion takes over, you're fearless. Okay, so don't think if the Pratibhasika goes, I'll be able to do miracles, I'll be able to see the future, I'll be able to see, I'll be able to teach, I'll be able to do something. No. All that is still part of Pratibhasika. When the Pratibhasika goes, when the delusion goes, what remains is deep inner peace. From that deep inner peace, transactions will happen as long as the body is there. As long as a transacting instrument is there in the world, transactions will happen out of deep inner peace. Versus happening from deep fear. That's the only shift. You are moving from fear to peace. Any doubts? That's all. Nothing else will happen. You will go to the same office, same work, same family, but now nothing will be able to disturb you. Okay? Now nothing will be able to create fear in you, doubt in you. You're established in Paramarthika. Now the lion can, once the lion knows the lion, I'm a lion, it cannot go back to being a sheep. Okay? Now all the sheep will come back, no, you are a lion. We all grew up here. We used to eat grass here, don't you remember? The lion won't remember. The moment it realizes it's a lion, all the memories will disappear. Its nature of blood will take over. Its inherent nature. You know that? You have a cat, right? The moment you, or a dog, the moment you feed it meat, its nature is activated. You give it again vegetarian food, it will reject. Brahman is like that. Once you know that Brahman, you're Brahman, you cannot fall back. And that is called Mukti. Mukti is the only point of no return. It's called the point of no return. Okay, now you guys decide you want to go to the point or you want to stop the class here only. Because if I continue, we reach the point of no return. There's no going back. Okay, Pratibhasika will disappear. Any doubts so far? Is it clear? The three distinctions: Paramarthika, Pratibhasika, Vyavaharika. Vyavaharika is never the problem. You think Vyavahara is the problem? No. Vyavahara is never the problem. Pratibhasika is the problem. Your concepts are the problem. Your ignorance is the problem. Okay? Vyavahara is not the problem. Your fear is the problem. It's not that you are afraid to interact with the world. It's not that you don't want to interact with the world. You're afraid to interact with the world because you don't want to lose your identity. You understand? That's why you don't go, you say, okay, I like this, I will only go to these places, I only meet these people, I'll not meet these people, I'll not go here. All that is coming from fear, not out of love. Don't think that, oh, my friends, I love them, no, nothing like that. You are simply afraid of not meeting new people. Fear is running your life right now. Does anybody argue that? All the actions, all the movement you do in your life is because of fear. You think it is out of love. You think it's out of clarity. You think that's what I want. If you had fear, you would not do half the things that you do right now, including eating a lot, including coming to satsang. You're coming to satsang because there's fear. If you're fearless, why do you need satsang? Why do you need Brahman? If you're fearless, do you need God? Nothing. There's no dependency at all. You become absolutely free. That is called mukti. No fear. Any doubt? So now how to become fearless? How to remove the pratibhasika? You understood? Everybody understood the problem point? The problem is in Pratibhasika, not Paramarthika doesn't have a problem. Brahman doesn't have a problem. World doesn't have a problem. World will run with you, without anybody. It runs without Krishna, it runs without Buddha, it runs. Either way it runs. Okay, the tree goes, another tree will come. This river dries up, another river will come. Okay, this planet blows up, another planet will come. Existence, the Vyavahara has never had a problem. You stop going to office for 2 months, somebody else will start doing your work. The world won't stop. Okay, you leave your children for few months, they'll learn how to live without you. That is nature. Okay, nobody needs you. The Vyavahara doesn't need you. But you think the whole Vyavahara is running because of you. The whole world is running because of my Facebook comments. The politics of the country is running. If I don't comment on Facebook, what will happen? If I don't review this talk, what will happen? How will the viewers know? If I don't tell the news, nothing will happen. If I don't wake up before the sun, how will the sun come up? If I don't wake up before my child, how will he grow up? The entire world will take care of itself, with you, without you. It is designed like that. Any doubts? So Vyavaharika has no problem. Paramarthika has no problem. The problem is in Pratibhasika. And Pratibhasika is not real. That's why it's called Pratibhasika. Pratibha means it's a reflection. It's not original. Okay? What is this reflection? All sorts of ideas and concepts. You're a bundle of reflections. There's something original in the society. Or maybe that's also another reflection. It's actually it's not even the original that you are reflecting. You are reflecting the reflection. You know this the room of mirrors. In the room of mirrors, a dog entered. Okay, and it starts seeing thousands of dogs and starts barking. They also start barking back. And it's not able to get out and it dies. Okay. One mirror is reflecting the original, but the 100 other mirrors is reflecting the reflection, not even the original. You understand? So whatever notions that you have in your mind are reflections of another reflection, of not even the original. So somebody comes to you and tells something. Do you know this person is like this? That they might have heard from somebody else. The moment they tell you, they forget that and they go and live their life. But you start living with that concept. You understand? You have never verified. You live with reflection, not even the original. You're not even reflecting the original. You are reflecting reflections. And your whole life is like that. You look at all the thoughts in your head are all reflections from another reflection. What is there in your head? And this is what the ancient wise people tell us, cow dung. There's only dung, which dung means all reflections, not verified, assumptions that somebody told, neither in their head is real. Somebody told a concept of success. In their own head, that's not clear, okay? They are not clear what is success. In you live your whole life trying to prove them that you are successful. I want to become successful. Why? Will you want to become successful if there are no people? Let's say there's nobody. Does your success mean anything? Forget nobody, there are other people, but the people that you relate to are not there. Does your success mean anything? Success only has a meaning when the people who you want to recognize as successful are there. That means what? They should reflect your notion of success, which you got from somebody else. How will they reflect? You understand the game. You live with beauty. I want to be beautiful. And you start wearing all these nice clothes and ornaments and everything. But the person who's seeing, he's reflecting some other concept of beauty. And you're expecting that person to recognize you as beautiful. How will that match? Will it anytime match? Enlighten. That is the worst thing, okay? Everybody has their own notion of enlightenment. It will never match. All these concepts are only reflections. So reject everything. So when we sit and we say, I am not this, ruthlessly reject all the concepts. So what happens is when you sit in meditation or sit for contemplation, deep-rooted impression starts coming out. Some impression of hurt, mostly it will be related to suffering and hurt, where somebody has hurt you or there's some bad experience that you had, where a reflected notion was deeply imprinted in you. Okay. Somebody said something to you which made you feel inferior, let's say. And now you're telling, I am Brahman. There is a mismatch. I feel inferior, but I am Brahman. How is that possible? Then you say, this I am inferior is not paramarthika, it's not absolute. The moment you say it's not paramarthika, it loses its power. Now it is real because you are giving it reality. You are taking it to be the absolute. It is not, it is relative. You understand? So see the relative as relative, it will lose its power. Then you say, I am not that. Just because somebody told me I am inferior doesn't make me inferior. Okay? You might have lived 30 years feeling inferior, but just because somebody said that doesn't make you that. You understand? Or whatever. Other way around also. Somebody told you you're beautiful, doesn't make you that. The moment you accept I am beautiful, you become body. And you want to remain beautiful, which is against nature. You can never be young all the time. Okay? So this causes hurt. The hurt exists in life because you're holding on to reflections that are superimposed on a changing entity. You're holding on to the notion, reflection that I am beautiful, which is superimposed on the body, which is changing, which is bound to cause trouble. You understand? Is everybody following? So the pratibhasika is the apparent problem. It's not real. It's not a problem. It is only an appearance. The only thing to understand about the pratibhasika is that it's unreal, no matter what it is. You understand? Reject the totality of the pratibhasika as unreal. There is not an ounce of reality there. Okay, so then it's not, there's no stress on you. Okay, what identity am I holding? What is the problem? No, the entire thing is garbage. Throw it. You understand? It's not like when you're in a dream. When you're in a dream, you were put in prison. Okay, then in the prison, you dig, you're doing some work and you dig and you find gold. Both the prison and the gold are dream. So when you wake up, you don't wake up with the gold, or you don't wake up with the prison. You don't wake up on one aspect of the dream. The entire dream is wiped out. The entire pratibhasika is rejected as what? Mithya, unreal. Okay, now if there is mithya, if there is unreal, what is satya? Vyavaharika, I have told you. Vyavaharika is the appearance with some interactions. That is not a problem. The problem is who I am. Who am I? That is the problem. Now I am is body, mind, intellect, identity. Now you have rejected I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. Now who are you? If you're not the body, mind, intellect, identities, who are you? Kesharji is saying something?
Consciousness, witness.
What does that mean? See, that the words have to denote something, right? The moment I say body, you have an image of a body in your head. The moment I say mind, there's a concept of emotions, thoughts in your head. The moment you say conscious and sakshi, what is the image that comes in your head? Huh? Prasad, you said something?
Something light, some light.
Some
No, I was
light.
about to burst out. I was about to burst out laughing because she said something dark or something light.
I
Something
told
dark,
both, something dark or something light.
something dark or something light. Cadbury's Dairy Milk. So, whenever you say consciousness, consciousness is beyond all thoughts, feelings, images, objects. Okay? What is consciousness is pure awareness. How do I know that? Is by going back to your memory of deep sleep. In deep sleep, there was no object, but there was a pure existence, awareness. That is what you are. And that nobody has to tell you. Okay, even if you believe you're something else, you are in reality that. And that is called I, pure I. That's the unchanging. Whenever you speak anything, whenever you tell anything, you're always referring to that only. But you're referring to that, but confusing yourself with body mind intellect, thinking it's operating as if it's in this. But you forget that in deep sleep, this is not there, but still that is there. You understand? In deep sleep, this is not there, but the awareness is there. It means you are there. That I is still there. That is what you are. Okay? So the journey is, so it's like this. Everybody can see this? At one end, you have the world, which includes the body, mind, experiences, thought, everything, emotions, everything. And at your deepest core, there is the self, consciousness or awareness. So think of it like this. The ocean, at the top of the ocean, there are waves. But the deeper you go into the ocean, deepest abyss, there is nothing. There's no light, nothing, just a deep silence. Okay, that is your reality. That is the reality of the ocean. Even though there is some movement on top, the reality of the depth of the ocean is this. Now, the only problem right now is what we call as worldly is always taking your attention here. Always, constantly be taking your attention here, living here, thinking about this, trying to solve the problem here. Okay? Instead of going deeper to find who you are trying to solve the problem here. It's like you're trying to water at the flower or the fruit. The tree will die. You need to water at the root. So you need to dive. You need to drop all of this and settle in the self. And this process is called dhyana, meditation. This is what is real meditation. Only after gnana. Gnana is what I am not and what I am. Without gnana, if you enter dhyana, it will be like deep sleep. You will get the benefit, you will become peaceful, but you will come back the same. It will be exactly like deep sleep. You will enter, it's called samadhi. You will become deeply silent, but your ignorance and fear is not disappeared. You come back again with fear. But mukti or nididhyasa or real meditation is this is the difference. You enter with the gnana that I am. First, you have used your intellect, you have heard, you have done shravana, manana, nididhyasa, you have done your interactions with the guru, you've clarified all your doubts. Now you're matured to a point where you say, I am not the body, mind, intellect, I am none of these identities. I am the self. I understand this logically. Okay, this logical understanding This conscious understanding is the criteria before you enter. Without this, so now you say, I've logically understood, but I'm not experiencing, right? This logical understanding is the base. Once you have this logical understanding, now we'll enter into the self, knowing of the self. Any doubts? Is so far the process clear? What I'm not is clear. What I am is logically clear through inference. Okay, in deep sleep, there is no body, mind, intellect, world. That means I am pure awareness. So I am an existence which exists without the body. I am an existence which exists without thought. That is the absolute reality. That is your absolute. Does that reality have death? Do you have death? Is that reality born? You have no birth, you have no death. Okay? You have no relations in that sense. You are pure awareness. Does that reality have bondage? Does that reality have mukti? No bondage, no mukti. Okay? Yeah, doubt?
So then how do you know, like your vyavaharika, what actions you should and shouldn't do?
Vyavaharika, wait. Don't worry about the I'll take up that. Now we are only talking about you don't have to, it's like the lion asking before seeing the reflection in the pond, the young lion is asking the older lion. Now it's not yet realized it's a lion, okay? It's asking, oh, if I'm a lion, then how will I deal with my brothers and sisters? They're sheep. Does it make any sense? First you realize you're a lion, then naturally you'll eat them. Once you realize what you are, what is required will spontaneously come. So there's no commandment here. There can never be, okay, you can do this in this situation. That can never be there. That is what is called. When you realize the truth, you understand what is dharma. Until you realize the truth, you will not understand what is dharma. You will only have concept of dharma, right or wrong. You understand? Because whatever is told is relative. How can I tell you what to be done and what not to be done? Let's say I give you some answer now, okay, because you asked, and I have to show that I am a great guru. I give you some answer. Okay, you will do this. You will live in compassion. You will do service. It's relative. Who is to tell that? Krishna was enjoying in the palace with so many wives. Okay, Shankaracharya was traveling and teaching. Buddha was begging. How can there be a code of conduct? Gnana is beyond conduct. So don't worry about vyavaharika. Like I said, vyavaharika will take care of itself. You focus on the paramarthika. So when you ask the question, where is the question oscillating? Here. So don't worry about, that's what you're trying to do. That's what people are trying to do. They're trying to find a solution here, which will never work. That's what even yoga is trying to do. Yoga is trying to find a solution here. On what? Body mind. Body mind is here. Here there's no body mind. Here is deep sleep. Any body mind deep sleep? In deep sleep, can you do yoga? There is no body to do yoga. Body itself is unreal. What is the concept of yoga then? Then you do meditation here. Mind itself is unreal. Okay? So the journey is from here to your depth, which is consciousness. So when you reach your core, what happens is, with gnana, okay? With gnana, when you enter samadhi, when you see the truth for what it is, there is a complete transformation. No longer you can go back to pratibhasika, because you've seen through the falsehood of all identities and the ego. Now what happens? Your mind becomes deeply silent. Okay? Then you open your eyes, you interact with the world, but now you're no longer interacting with the world. You're interacting with silence. You're interacting with consciousness. So it's like this. Let's say you're reading a book. Give me some book. It's there on that table. Everybody following? Mithali ji, Kundan ji. So there's this book. So when you read a book, what do you read? You read the words. You focus on the print. Your attention is always on the print, right? But you never pay attention to the one that is holding the print, which is the paper, the background. Without the background, can there be a print? Never. There can never be a print without the paper. So Atma-gnana is about knowing the paper. Now, when you know the paper, once you know the paper, again, when you open the book, your attention goes to the paper. So long, you have only been programmed to read the print. From print, you shift your attention to the paper. So what you have done is, you have recognized within yourself consciousness. Then when you open your eyes, you recognize consciousness. Because consciousness is everywhere. Consciousness is a reality. And on that consciousness, there are objects appearing. Or rather, the same consciousness is taking the form of those objects. You start seeing that. Okay? So the more the meditation and the gnana becomes deeper and deeper and deeper, the less you start living here. For the world, it will appear as if you're living here. But you're living here. Okay? You're in deep peace and a state of tranquility all the time. And free from all fear and concepts. But you're interacting with the world. So what happens is, the more this deepens, the more the impressions burn out, the world itself starts losing its reality. It starts appearing unreal. It completely goes to the background. You interact with the world, but you don't interact with the world. You're speaking, but you're not speaking. You're seeing, you're saying things, you're doing work, but you're not doing any of that. You are constantly in the absolute. Okay? And when the body's fuel is done, there is no more rebirth. Why? There is no more pratibhasi, there's no reflection. There's no more identity. And there's no more desire. The desire arises because of fear. Okay? Another birth comes because of desire. So you remove the base, which is fear. No fear, no desire. No desire, no birth. You understand? You settle in the paramarthika. That's called parinirvana. Okay? While you to recognize this when you're alive is called nirvana. When the body and mind job is done, then it's parinirvana. But even when you're in nirvana, you are in parinirvana. But from the world's point of view, your body mind is there. You're there. But from your point of view, all that has disappeared. That you concept has disappeared. Okay. So any doubt before we dive in? Any doubts? Ask right now. After you enter the water, don't ask. Then after entering the water, I'll disappear. Shesharji, give some water.
We say, like, the yoga working at the top, it is not required required because the basis of yoga is duality.
And not that it's not required, it's required, but it's not absolute. It's required, like everything is required, everything has its place. The counting is required at a certain age, memorizing something is required at a certain age, but as you grow up, you drop that. Toys are required for a child. You can't tell a child, don't play with toys. But rather, if you wait, when the child matures, he'll drop that toy on his own. So yoga is required. But I'm saying when it has no place when you come to Atma.
Okay.
That's why please understand, the Patanjali Maharshi clearly tells in the first shloka of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. What is the you know the shloka? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Its job is only to annihilate the vrittis of the mind. Okay, just to purify the mind, not to transcend the mind. Transcending the mind is only glana. Okay, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. That means he is giving reality to chitta and vritti. Vedanta, Shankaracharya will tell chitta also is maya, vritti is also maya. You understand the difference? That's the shift. You're working with unreality, hoping that you'll find reality.
So even after one's jnana, like after one obtains jnana,
yeah,
one can still do. So probably there is no point in doing yogasana or yoga.
No, like I said, no, Krishna used to wake up at 3 a.m. to do yogasana. Okay, why he should do? He's a param gnani. Why he should do? Yadyad acharati shrestha tattadeve tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. So he tells, I do because if I simply sit, everybody will simply sit. All the people who need to do it also. See, Vedanta, to come to this level, to listen to the teaching is not easy. It's not for everybody, okay? If you are getting it easily, it's for you, it's no big deal. But the same thing told at scale will not work. People cannot relate, they're not mature also to understand this. Okay, people have various desires. They have laukika desire. They have some bhoga. They want to eat. They want to travel. They want to have some experiences. Then they have yogic desires. They want powers. They want to be able to read people's mind. They want to be able to do miracles. They have desires. So when that urge is there, that person, you can't tell, reject all this. Right? But somebody who has come to a stage who has understood, okay, all this is futile for whatever reason. Bahunam Janmanamante. After many lifetimes of doing all this circus, people come to understanding, oh, nothing is working out. Then you come to a certain point. Then luckily, if you have a master, you will get the teaching. But not everybody is ready for this. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa beat up Vivekananda very badly because he taught Advaita to one of his disciples. Okay, that disciple was he was a disciple of Ramakrishna. He was doing Durga Puja, like how Ramakrishna used to do. Vivekananda went to him and told, all this is Maya. Okay, our Guru also has reached Parinirvana. You also drop this. Why you're worshipping stone? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa took a stick and beat him properly. Okay, he told him, you can't tell that to him. He needs that. He needs to grow. He has a journey. You might be in that level. That doesn't mean everybody can jump to that state. So is yoga required? Yes. Is there absolute? No. Is Vedanta for everybody? No. The only question you need to ask is, what is required for me? You will never be able to tell what is required for the world or others. You have to judge what is required for me. If you are more in tune with Advaita and Vedanta, you will feel very uncomfortable wherever there is dualistic teaching.
just one thought came now is like I was told that okay, now we have to just sit and say ask questions, self-inquiry. If there is a pain in the body, what I was told is the mind, the focus of the mind shifts to that pain, so you won't be able to sit. Now, in a way, that itself is a good. If there's a pain, ask for whom is this pain. So in a way, it is good to have a pain and not to yoga.
Every movement in consciousness is actually a pointer to consciousness. Any movement, pain, sensation, thought is actually an opportunity for you to see the paper. All the print give a contrast. You understand? The print is a great opportunity to recognize the paper. So you can clearly distinguish. So pain is a great opportunity to recognize I am not the pain. I am the witness of the pain. Thought, oh, I'm getting too many thoughts, is a great opportunity for you to recognize I am the one who's witnessing there are so many thoughts. Okay. Then self-inquiry is you get possessed by the thought, telling that I am disturbed. Then you ask who is disturbed. If you get possessed by the pain, then you ask who is in pain. The moment you ask the question, it disappears. So much so that even the pain disappears. Because pain is also appearance. Do you know that according to neuroscience, the people who don't have leg pain. Somebody had a leg and the leg was cut because of some reason, diabetes or something, or some accident. But there is a condition where they feel as if they have feet pain. Have you heard of that? That pain is not happening in the feet, it's happening in the head. So you think you need an organ to feel pain. No. The pain is created by the brain. What is pain? Pain is a signal sent by the brain to pay attention to some part. Okay? That signal is not always real. It many times, according to neuroscience, it sends false signals. They have found through research and study, nothing is wrong with the organ, but still there is pain. You understand? And so many cases where there is something wrong with the organ, but that patient has no pain. He should be screaming in pain, but there's no pain. So what you call as pain is also an appearance. But the appearance helps you, it's a reflection. The reflection, use the reflection to go back to the original phase.
So it is okay still to do yoga with the intention of keeping the body fit. So
It is,
I mean, in the sense like body fit in the sense like if one is doing not yoga but yoga asana. So if one is doing asana,
after gnana, you will understand the real meaning of yoga. Okay, many of the asanas are spontaneous posture taken by the body. Spontaneous. Okay, that's why they have names. Kurkutasana, Sarvanga Sundarasana. All these are spontaneous. The people who, from where it originated, for the yogis, it spontaneously happened in their meditation. It happened from a place of no mind. Okay, and what is yogasana? It is the various. So we as a living being have had various journeys as various animals. We lived as a frog, we lived as a snake, we lived as an elephant. So many of these asanas are the postures of these animals. Okay, so they started coming up spontaneously in deep meditation when those impressions of those yogis started popping out of that life. And that asana resolved the issues that they carried from that life. And all the issues are stored in the spine. That's why yogasana is always working on the spine. If your spine moves in a certain way, it alters your consciousness. There is a whole basis of yogasana. Asana. Yoga is not just asana. It has asana, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. It's eightfold. Okay, 8 limbs of yoga. Asana is just one limb. There's yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. But all of this came because of samadhi, because of gnana. Somebody entered gnana samadhi. From that consciousness, spontaneous postures, spontaneous wisdom of what is yama, what is niyama, what is asana, what is pranayama, what is pratyahara evolved. So gnana will help you to do better yoga, to do rather real yoga, to do real puja, to do real karma, to do real art. Now your art is coming from junk, from your impressions. Art will start coming from consciousness. You understand? So is there a difference, Shisharji? Yoga coming from here and yoga coming from here? Yoga will not stop. Nothing will stop. It will stop. So I can't say like that it will stop or start. It depends on the purpose of that body. Okay, Buddha will not do yoga. Okay, but Paramahamsa Yogananda will do yoga. Krishna will do yoga. Ramana Maharshi will not do yoga. He will not even walk. Okay, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa will not do yoga. But it is the language that maybe the enlightened one chooses to communicate the enlightenment or express the enlightenment. That depends on the past momentum. Okay, in your past momentum, if you had yoga, the yoga will continue with the flavor of enlightenment. But if there was no yoga in your past momentum, after enlightenment, you will not that it will start. It may start if it's requirement, but there are no such rules, is what I'm trying to say. There's no code of conduct. Yeah.
How does one tell the difference?
Between what?
So if the action is coming from.
The question is, how does one tell the difference between an enlightened action and the action coming out of mind? The enlightened action will be, first of all, there'll be a beauty to it. There'll be a grace. Okay. There'll be non-doership. And all enlightened actions are universal in nature. They are a seed for the existence. Let's say you create some art. The art is coming out of your impressions. Okay. Then there's a person who has become deeply silent. There will be a visible transformation in the art. I'll give you a real life example. Bhagavan Osho used to go to Juhu beach. There was an artist who used to make sand sculptures, okay, in the beach. And he used to sell some artwork made out of sand. Then after some time, after many months, Osho came back again and he saw this person is only making sculptures of Buddha and enlightened beings. Then Osho asked, why you have changed? Now nobody's gathering around him. Nobody's giving him money. Before, everybody's gathering around him. And Osho can see that this person has transformed. He sees some divinity in his eyes, a transformation, an awakening. He asks him, what changed? He said, my entire doership dropped. Now he's enlightened. And in enlightened, his action is not for some return. His action is pure expression. That's what art is supposed to be. Pure expression. No expectation at all. Just a beautiful creation. And those who have the eyes only can see that. Garbage everybody can recognize. When he was doing, people were gathering. But when he's doing actual beautiful pieces, nobody gathers. Same thing happened with Van Gogh. Van Gogh painted the Starry Nights. It's a very famous painting, Starry Nights. In his time, in Van Gogh's time, he was laughed at. Okay. And he hardly sold few paintings in his lifetime. 100 years after Van Gogh painted the Starry Nights, the physicists found out that's how the stars are. They're not static. They move, they whirl. Okay. And this person, in his naked eyes, he saw that. And he captured that. So it requires a certain intelligence to appreciate art. Art is not for everybody. There is a certain intelligent maturity required to recognize divinity, enlightened action, and enlightened person also, for that matter. Otherwise, Krishna himself was abused. Everybody made him an enemy. Only a few people saw him as divine. It requires an intelligence. You have to be open. Okay? And those who have their opening will recognize if it's coming out of the mind or if it's coming out of... If I go to some spiritual talks, I can clearly make out if the teacher is speaking from their mind or it's coming from the self. Not only in spiritual, even in office, if somebody is speaking, you can make out if that person really knows the subject or if he's just blabbering words. You will see through the games of the mind because there'll be a flavor to it, the touch of the divine. You understood? So how will know? If the question is how will I know, I myself will know, am I doing enlightened action or not? Simply do a shift. There will be a deep peace. Actions will have, there will be no doubt. First of all, there will be no doubt, am I enlightened or not? That will disappear. Okay. Then is the question, how can I know if other person's action is enlightened or not? That can only be known when you awaken. There's no other way. Because then, when Parashurama went to meet Dattatreya is the master of, Guru of, Sadguru of Parashurama. When Parashurama went to meet Dattatreya had a alcohol bottle in one hand and a naked woman was sitting on his lap. But Parashurama saw through that. Many people came and they were like, what kind of guru is this? And they left. But Parashurama saw through that and he bowed down and he told, take me as your disciple. Clear? Okay. Shall we dive in? Any doubts so far? Hisharji, illa clear aita?
Krishna ji, I had since you spoke about rebirth,
yeah,
and we also say that everything is consciousness. Then for whom is the rebirth? Because I always felt that a sense of individuality comes because you see so much disparity in the world.
Yeah.
Somebody is born rich, somebody is born in a poor family.
Okay.
You see somebody who is happy-go-lucky, their entire life is like easy.
Okay.
And on the other hand, you see someone who is suffering for most part of their life. So when you see such contradicting things, I feel that that's where a sense of ego or individuality comes from. So if everything is consciousness, then for whom is the rebirth, and why do you see so much unfair things happening in the world?
So I told you, the Paramarthika, Pratibhasika, and Vyavaharika. It is the Pratibhasika that creates this whole, the Maya runs on the foundation of Pratibhasika. For consciousness, there is nothing. There's no birth, there's no death. It is this reflected entity, unreal reflected entity. It's called Chidabhasa. In the language of Vedanta, it's called Chidabhasa. Okay. It is you have a notion of being an individual. That notion of being an individual creates another dream. Like how when you're waking, you feel you're an individual. That same notion creates a dream. And after death, that same notion creates another body. That's all. Does that answer the question? So right now we've come to the stage where again this question is in the realm of here. Don't don't worry about the fruit or the flower. Go to the root. Don't worry about the top of the ocean. Why there's tsunami, why there's whirlpool, why some wave is big, some wave is small. You go to the depth, find the reality of the ocean, which is the abyss. When you find that, then we'll see if the question is still valid. Your question is invalid because you're asking about the dream. Do you understand? The question itself is invalid. And that's why it has no answer. The only real answer is you have to go to the depth consciousness. So now we'll dive in. Okay.
Guruji, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Before we continue, can we take a 5 or 10 minutes break? We can have quick lunch.
Please. Yeah, we'll. Is everybody okay with 10 minutes? So let's, because after 10 minutes is a final grace. Okay, so you take a 10-minute break, come back in 10 minutes. Whoever has, whoever doesn't need to take a break can stay and stay for discussion. So Beena, is it clear? You guys can take a break.
Yeah.
So the question you're asking, why is there so much unfairness?
Yes.
Is not relevant. The unfairness is in your head. In reality, there is no unfairness. The ant never asks, why am I so small? The elephant is so big. The prey never asks, the deer never asks, why is the tiger the eater and I am the eaten? Okay, never asks. It just gets eaten. There is no suffering. In existence, there is no all these notions that you made, it's not there. It's only there in the human mind. Why it's there in the human mind? It's because of all the programming. You have been programmed to think that, you look at somebody rich, you think rich means having some inner experience. But maybe a poor person has that inner experience without those amenities. So you can never ever comment about somebody's inner experience. You can only look at the skin. You cannot tell what is there inside, right? Haven't you heard of rich people committing suicide?
Yeah.
Then how can you tell it's unfair? If it was really unfair, they should not commit suicide because they have everything.
Yeah, that was just an example, but I still feel there's so much contradicting, unfair things happen.
Who is this I who feels?
When we watch the news, like people in Taliban now, I feel it's unfair for them to be born in that country too. Like,
how can you say that? Do you, first of all, whatever is shown in the news, is it absolute? Is it the ground reality?
Yeah, the pictures of women and children suffering there after the Taliban took over. It's, if you feel, you wonder, like, if everything is consciousness, then why would it be so unfair, contradicting experience of life for different beings?
It's not. It's absolutely not. Whatever you're thinking about what is happening in Taliban, maybe somebody sitting in US is thinking about you. Oh, poor Indians are suffering. They're richer than you, no? They have better amenities than you. And they'll look at you and they'll feel like that about you.
Yeah.
It's all perceptions, that's all. Let's say you watched the news about Taliban and you slept. And in the dream, you saw the same news. Okay? About dream Taliban. And you had the same feelings. Does that have any value?
No.
If you really feel something, go and do something about it. No. So please understand, what you're doing is you're giving reality to the scene. The scene is unreal, no matter what it is. In the absolute sense, from the Paramarthika sense, the scene is unreality. It is only your perception. I'll tell you a simple example. The same case of Taliban, whatever you're telling. Let's give it a few more years. Okay? maybe you're in a better place in life, you're more matured, you would have forgotten about that. Okay. Ultimately, it's your inner experience. Maybe there are many enlightened beings who are living in Afghanistan. You know about the big Buddha statue that was demolished by the Taliban? Afghanistan was a center of Hinduism and Buddhism. There might be many enlightened beings there who are not experiencing what you're talking about. Stop superimposing your notions on the world. You tell, because of seeing that news, I am feeling afraid. That is fine. Don't tell that person is suffering. You have there's no way for you to make that statement. So what is the question? You tell, I saw the news, I felt, I'm feeling jittery, I'm feeling scared. What if it happens here? That you tell, that is fine. But don't tell what, those people are having some experience. That's their inner experience.
Okay, so you gave the example of predator and prey, like in the case of deer and lion. I would always feel that it would be unfair to be born as a deer, and it would have been good if if you can live fearlessly like a lion.
Yeah, what will the deer, the tiger eat then? See, let's say it's unfair to be born as a deer. Well, there are only tigers. All tigers will die. Then it will be unfair to be a tiger. What will a tiger eat?
No, but as a deer, you would always constantly live in fear. So why if everything is consciousness?
Are you a deer?
No, my question is
why is tell me, have you
designed
seen fear on the face of the deer? Which deer has come and told you, I am living in fear? Why are you superimposing some concept on what is the experience, inner experience of a deer? The deer is in bliss. Okay? Only when the predator comes, the fear gets activated as a protective mechanism. Okay? Even when it's getting eaten, it doesn't suffer. Okay, the deer has no conceptualizing ability like you. If it sees the tiger once, that image of the tiger constantly doesn't haunt it. Unlike in the human being's case. That's why I told everything in existence is bliss. There's only bliss in existence. Your mind is the problem. There is no problem out there. If there is a problem out there, the only thing you can do is ask the question, what can I do about it? Worrying and talking about it is useless. Take some constructive action. And ultimately, all these questions are, we have crossed over that point now, especially today's final session. We have come to a state where we are no longer focusing on the surface, on the world and the problems. We are focusing on what is truth. Spirituality or Vedanta is not about solving the problems of the world. Vedanta is about realizing the truth, solving my problem. In your deep sleep, tell me, where is Taliban? Last night you had deep sleep?
Yeah.
Where was the deer and the tiger? Was there any unfairness?
No.
Were you there?
No.
You were not there as body mind, but you were there as existence.
Yeah.
Now what happens if that same experience comes to the waking state?
It would be peaceful.
That's all. And from that peace, if a spontaneous notion comes that I'm going to go there and do some work, you will do that. If it doesn't come, you will not do. When during Ramana Maharshi's time, World War II was going on. Okay, many wars were going on. He was simply sitting, and somebody came and asked him, "There's World War II. Why don't you go and help?" Okay, he said, "I don't see it. It's not real." He's in bliss. First, you find your reality. If you don't find your reality, even in the fair situation, you will feel miserable. You're talking about being miserable in the unfair situation, right? I am telling you, if you don't know who you are, even if everything is perfect in your life, you will suffer. You'll suffer even more. And that's why celebrities commit suicide. Everything is perfect in their life. They have power, they have money, they have women, they have everything, fame, but they're suffering. So what is the solution, Veena? Taliban.
No, I think, as you said, the mind is what is creating the problem. It is labeling everything as good, bad, fair, unfair. So I think that's where the problem lies.
You catch the reality beyond the mind in the waking. That is the solution. And that is called Raksha. Today is Raksha Bandhan, no? You know what is Raksha? Raksha means protection. The only thing that will protect you, Raksha, is Atma Gnana. Is to catch that pure awareness in the waking state. Nothing else will protect you. People think money will protect, something else will protect, family will protect. Nothing will protect you except Atma Gnana. And it protects against the final verdict of death. Okay, everybody has to die. Only the Atmanani doesn't die. Understand? So what is the solution, Veena? One second. Yeah. What is the solution, Veena?
To find my own truth, to realize the truth.
Whenever these questions come up, please understand your mind is moving outward. It is getting pulled. It is pulled into unreality. You have to, this is called Viveka. You have to use your intelligence to shift back the attention to the source. Okay, that doesn't mean running away from the situation. That means appropriately taking action. That's called Vyavahara. The right Vyavahara will happen only when you're established in Paramarthika. Until then, Avyavahara will happen. If you're established in the ego and the mind, all your Vyavaharas that can be beautiful, you'll make it Avyavahara. You'll destroy it. Your relationships you will destroy, your work will destroy, your country you will destroy, everything you will destroy. Because you're rooted in mind, an outgoing mind. But if you're rooted in the deep silence, all Vyavaharas will be taken care of beautifully. Krishna handled all Vyavaharas. He handled war. Okay? He didn't ask why there is unfairness, war is happening. No. That's the stupidest thing to do. If there is war, he tried to avoid war. He tried his best to avoid war. When it was inevitable, he accepted it. And he handled it. He handled relationships. You only have to handle my mother, my father, my brother. He has to handle devotees, the countrymen, Arjuna who's depressed, soldiers, gopikas, then abusers. Everybody has to enemies. Okay, he handled everything. Vyavahara. Then he handled as Ishvara the entire operation of the universe as Vishnu. He's a multitasker. And all perfectly. Everything he handled perfectly. He never asked the question, why is there unfairness? He did something about the unfairness. You understand? And he cannot do that if he only has notions of gnana. He has to have gnana. So don't worry about action and word. Focus on the root, which is I. When you focus on the I, everything will happen spontaneously. Life will become a spontaneous expression of consciousness, not a planned, orchestrated, conceptualized, effortful event. You understand? Dina?
Yeah.
Is it clear or you're not convinced with the answer?
Yeah, it's clear.
What is the answer?
To to be established in the truth and not let the mind.
Who is the problem first? Taliban.
No.
Who is the problem?
Our own mind.
Who's R? My mind is not problem.
The mind in general.
Tell no, I am the problem.
Yeah,
Tell again.
I am the problem.
You are the problem.
Yeah.
You have to go. Okay? That you, ego, has to burn out. That's why it's called nirvana. Nirvana, the actual meaning of the word nirvana means blowing out. Like a candle you blow out. No. Nirvana means blowing out. The ego blows out. Okay. Then there is deep peace. There's no problem. In the Vyavahara, there are some challenges. All of that will be handled. Whatever the Gnani can do, he'll do. Whatever he can't do, he'll accept. There is no suffering. Krishna tried to stop the war. He failed. Fine, he accepted that. He was part of the war. There's no fear, there's no suffering, there's no, breaking the head. Why I tried my best. I am Krishna, I am God. I should have been able to stop the war. Nothing. No such thought. Krishna doesn't get such thoughts. Why are you getting the thought? I don't understand. You've not even taken 1% of Krishna's responsibility. And you're thinking about the world.
Yeah. Whenever I watch the news or something.
Stop watching the news.
Yeah.
If you're getting affected.
Mind just, whatever teachings I've learned, it just.
So if something is disturbing you, until you reach a maturity when you have immunity towards it, don't interact with that.
Yeah.
Like when they put a plant, not a tree, they give a protective covering so that the cows and other animals don't destroy it. Right? After it becomes a tree, it's not required.
Yeah.
Same way, until you are established in the truth, you have to use those protective mechanisms. You have to stay away from things that disturb you. That's what is called satsang. Stop interacting with what disturbs you and interact with what empowers you. Okay, Mitari ji is back. Everybody is back. Yoga ji. So I want everybody to come back on video. Okay. So we are making the journey. The journey is from the known to the unknown to the unknowable. Okay. The known is the world. Mind is constantly moving outside. And there is a notion of me. I am the body, I am the mind. And what is reality? Whatever you think is reality is not reality. because reality cannot be thought about. You understand? Whatever you think is reality is not reality. Whatever you think is you is not you. You are not the body. Body is a super intelligent machine, a bundle of sensations. Body is nothing but sensations. Okay, no sensation, no body. Is it clear? When you don't have a sensation, the body doesn't exist. Sensation is body. Thought is mind. The sensation always is impermanent. It appears, disappears. No sensation is permanent. Okay? Appears, disappears. Some sensation comes, sensation goes. Comes, goes. Then, so the entire body is nothing but sensation. I am not that. Mind. Mind is thoughts. One thought appearing at a time. Each thought is a wave in consciousness. It's also unreal. I am not that. Identities. All identities are false identities. All identities, including the identity I am Brahman, I am enlightened, I am Guru, I am God. All identities are false identities. All these appearing and disappearing elements are appearing and disappearing on the background of the reality, which is you, consciousness. And that you is the absolute reality. In you, body, mind, world appears. Just the way in you, the body, mind appears in your dream. In the waking, the body, mind appears. You are neither the body, neither the mind, neither you belong to this world. They're all projections happening out of you and withdrawn back into you. And there is a state that you experience in deep sleep when there is no projection, where you are just there as Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Okay? That is your reality. That has never changed. That will never change. No matter what, that will never change. Now, the only challenge is, how do I experience it? You can never experience it because it's beyond experience. You can never know it because it is beyond thought. It's never in the grasp of the body and mind. But you can be it, just the way you are it in deep sleep. So, all of you sit in a meditative posture. Close your eyes. Keep your spine straight. Become aware of your breath. Relax. Just relax. Relax your body. Relax your face. The body is nothing but a bundle of sensation. Appears and disappears. The mind is a bundle of thought. Appears and disappears. The world is unreal. I am the only reality. Satchid Ananda Shivoham. Take your attention, awareness to the top of your head. Top of the head, Sahasrara. And know that the Guru has placed the palm on top of your head. Just receive the grace and sit with your attention on top of the head, knowing that the Guru is placed palm on top of the head. Mentally, now imagine that the Guru asks you a question: who are you? The Guru asks you, who are you? And observe the answer. Slowly open your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. संथाली जी, क्या हुआ?
ओके नहीं क्या हुआ आई कांट एक्सप्लेन. अच्छा लगा. इट्स साइलेंट. बीच में एक दो थॉट्स आए लेकिन फिर उसको वापस आई उस जगह पे कि ये थॉट किसके लिए है. और आपने जब ये पूछा, अपने आप से पूछने के लिए कहा कि गुरु जी पूछ रहे हैं कि हु यू आर. कोई आंसर नहीं था मेरे पास. कोई आंसर आया भी नहीं. मतलब जस्ट पजल, या मुझे लग रहा था कि वो मुझसे पूछ रहे हैं और आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग. मेरे पास कोई आंसर नहीं.
आपको यहाँ वाइब्रेशन हुआ?
वो टच फीलिंग आया. वाइब्रेशन उस हिसाब से आई फील द टच. यहाँ
टच हुआ?
हाँ.
तो क्या हुआ टच होने के बाद? मन शांत हुआ?
हाँ, मन पूरा शांत. कोई आंसर नहीं. रियली रियली गुड. बहुत अच्छा.
योगा जी? म्यूट पे हैं आप.
It is a thought. Something is happening here, and it is a thought of silence.
Who are you?
Guruji?
Who are you? Sheshari ji?
Guruji, focus was here, and the answer to the question when you asked me, who are you? Answer was, I am you.
Any sensation here?
I think probably I had a bit of sensation in the spine.
The spine. Yeah. Mind was silent? Sumanji?
Yes, I felt a sort of some sensation on top, and then I felt as if my body was moving or something was happening. It was just waving or something like that.
Okay.
And the mind was quite silent.
Who are you?
I'm something that I cannot see. Whatever I'm seeing is partial. So what I'm not seeing, like what I can't see from this eyes is me.
Devi ji? Devi ji, are you able to hear?
Sorry. I felt your the touch, your touch. You touched here like that, but the sensation it appeared in this place, in the third eye place.
Very good. Okay, very good.
But sometimes when I do meditation, I feel the sensation here. Not today. Some other days I feel here.
Very good.
But the first time I felt here.
Very good.
And after when you asked, who are you? I'm telling I'm Brahman, but I don't have the full conviction because even to become Brahman, I should be very good person, right? To become Brahman, The person should be very good, very pure, no impurities at all. So
that's the whole point of the grace. Okay, you are never ready. The ego is never ready. That's why the intervention. That's why moksha moolam guru kripa. Only with intervention, switch happens. Okay, so you sit again, visualize the Guru's grace flowing through you, see what comes up. That's the only way. It has to be aparoksha anubhuti. Okay, the grace will flow. Your job is to only receive. And the centers are already open. That's why the sensation. In the physical realm, of course, gnana is beyond everything. The ultimate grace also, the master awakens the higher center. There are 7 chakras. There are many chakras, but the 7 prominent chakras: Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agna, Sahasrara. So Vishuddhi, Agna, Sahasrara are higher level chakras. Okay. Once the Sahasrara and the Vishuddhi is opened by the Sadguru, it's over. Whether you feel enlightened, you don't feel enlightened, there's no rebirth. Okay. In case somebody doesn't get Jivan Mukti, but if they have received the grace from the master, and if they die, they go to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is the higher realm, which is beyond heaven and hell, which is called the Loka of existence. It's where there is no suffering. It's the Gnana Loka. Okay, and then once the creation is done, they merge back into consciousness. But this is your backup in case somebody doesn't attain Jivan Mukti at the time of death, because the Guru has opened the Sahasrara and Agna, they don't get a rebirth. So after death, if some Yamadutas or somebody comes, just show them the certificate that you came to this class. Tell them, give them my reference. Send them back. Okay, that's all. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that can be done. Now the ball is in your court. If you want the mind to become the mind to transform, basically the tendencies of the mind to stop, the tendency of the mind stopping or not stopping actually in reality now doesn't make any sense to your account. Your account is closed. Okay? But if you have a desire, I have to experience something, I have to feel detached, I have to feel more peaceful. This is the process. This is called nididhyasa. Just sit either with the awareness of the higher centers and ask the question, who am I? And reject all answers. Spontaneously, at some point, you will feel the answer will come as a deep reality. You understand? So, this is also another way that when you interact with the world, in your Vyavaharika, you operate from these centers now. Once the centers are open, otherwise typically most of the people operate from the lower centers. The fear center, which is Muladhara, sex center, which is the Swadhisthana, action and desire center, which is the Manipura, emotional center, which is the Anahata. So life goes in these centers, and even death happens in these centers. When the person dies, you can tell, you can tell which center they were operating their entire life. Somebody who is always has a lot of desire. Okay? If my life is filled with desire, their eyes will be open. Okay? Have you seen such deaths? Somebody has a lot of desire for food, when they die, the tongue will be out. That will be the last thought in their head. That momentum of that vritti will create a biological impact, physical impact. Somebody who's lived with a lot of desire for sex, the genitals will be in a certain posture, or they'll have some sign. Somebody who lives in fear, the lowest center, Muladhara, they might have some sort of discharge or excretion. Okay. And the yogis die. If somebody dies, is awakened and died to higher centers, their eyes will be up. The Gnani dies, it's peaceful, eyes closed, like sleeping. Anyway, he was sleeping when he was awake. Okay, this is called Shaktipat, the opening up of your higher centers. Now you can, it'll open, okay, Pallaviji, it'll become deeper and deeper. It'll expand. This is only the seed. It starts growing. So you get more sensation here. Whenever, if you go to some spiritually vibrant place, immediately your centers will start reacting. If you go to some disturbing place, you will know the body starts reacting. Okay. You become so sensitive because you're now operating from intelligent centers. And this is not individual intelligence, this is universal intelligence. Whatever you desire through this center will start manifesting. Once your Vishuddhi starts expanding, you become very, very creative. Whatever you create, whatever you touch will be gold, will attract a lot of people. Okay. So either I can live in the Muladhara, fear, Swadhisthana, desire, Manipura, action, or Anahata, emotions. From this, you're making now the shift to living in Vishuddhi, Agna, Sasra. It's already done. Now that you don't have a choice now. You're important now. You're important to the world, with full of possibilities in consciousness. Prasadji?
Kind of a sort of a warmth actually on top of the head.
You're not audible.
Felt some sort of a warmth on top of the head when I visualized.
Mind was peaceful?
Mind was very peaceful, very peaceful.
Okay. Who are you?
The thought that came, I was visualizing your hand, I mean, when you said that, and then the thought that came about when you said, who are you, was Brahmasmi. But that was spontaneous. I don't know whether it was right, wrong, and whether it was again an identity or what was.
Right.
At least it was, I mean, it was, I just said to myself, I'm Brahmasmi.
That's all. That is it. After some time, even that will disappear spontaneously, because saying that also is meaningless. When you are that, now it's fine. The more it deepens, the more you continue, the more you take your attention there, and the more, if it's required, when I say more, don't think of it as more action. Okay, more doing, more moving towards that. No, just allow it to settle, and that will bloom, that will blossom. Kundanji?
ये अनुभव मेरे को होता रहा कि मतलब पहले भी होता था, आज तो हुआ कि जैसे यहाँ पर कुछ भार ऐसा है, कुछ है वहाँ पर, और कंटिन्यूस जैसे हवा निकलता है ना शरीर से, ऐसा सेंसेशन कैसे था, तेज पंखे के पास आते हैं तो ऐसा सेंसेशन फील होता है. ये कुछ दिन से हो रहा है, जब से ये सेशन शुरू किया तब से बहुत ज्यादा होने लगा. अभी भी वही चीज मैं फील कर रहा था और मैं अभी भी फील कर रहा हूँ. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मतलब करने के बाद भी फील कर रहा हूँ. ये पूरा इलाका ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे हवा ब्लॉक कर रहा है, वो फील हो रहा है. और आपने पूछा कि मैं कौन हूँ, तो उस समय बॉडी का बाउंड्री फील नहीं हो रहा था मुझे, बॉडीलेसनेस का फीलिंग आया.
एग्जैक्टली.
तो उसके बाद फिर बाउंड्री का लिमिटेशन, बॉडी बाउंड्री का लिमिटेशन नहीं था, तो मुझे वो जीरो लग रहा था, मतलब सेंसलेस, तो माँ ही लग रही थी सब कुछ.
वेरी नाइस. So whenever you ask the question, who am I? Typically, the first notion is you feel caged in the body.
Yeah.
But in Gnan, at the higher centers, you feel liberated. That's how a child feels. It's not something extraordinary. It's not magic, okay? That's how it was earlier. When you were born, this center was in tune. You were open. You had no body limitation. But later, because of the concept of the mind, it closed. Because your attention went out to lower centers, especially during teenage when it moves to the sex center. An entire life goes in that center for people. Because of hormonal changes, they start living through that center, but the entire life is lived in that center. Whatever decision they make, whatever thoughts, if they want to have success, if they want to have anything, all because of that. Okay. Otherwise, it's food. Whatever they do, it's for food. Whatever they do is for fear, sex, or food. But after a lot of evolution, it comes to emotions, empathy for another person. Okay. Then expression, intelligence, freedom. Okay. So very good sign. So these are all many openings. Many such things will happen. Whatever happens, don't give it too much reality. Whatever happens, if it's not real, it'll disappear also. And don't crave for it when it disappears. Some things will happen. You might see some divine light, some divine form, some energy movement in the body, some premonition. You might be able to know what's going to happen. All that will happen. Just don't give any reality to all that. All that is appearance. Never ever lose the focus on the roots. Okay. So in the waking state, what you experienced is the deep, pure awareness. At any point of time, it's the reality. Just whenever you are sitting in the subway, waiting for something, whenever you don't have any action to do, just momentarily take your awareness to the higher centers. Again, open your eyes, get back. Okay. The world will completely lose its reality. The I will completely dissolve, disappear, never to come back again. Brahman alone will remain. Whatever is meant to happen through your body mind will happen. Any questions? So that's all there is. Sureka, I didn't ask you. What happened?
So I had goosebumps.
Okay. Yeah.
Shivering.
You're shivering, okay?
But not shivering.
I understand, yeah. Energy movement.
And then the who am I was, first one was Satchidananda.
Okay.
But then a lot of other answers also came, but nothing stuck.
Okay. Okay. Mind was silent. Very good. So this is all there is. So it's called Vedanta. It has an end. All the other wisdom teachings, they don't have an end. It's endless. It's called Aparavidya. They're endless. They go on and on and perpetual. There are more into any subject you take, medicine, science, math. The deeper you go in, the deeper it unfolds. But Atma has an end, dead end, which is a real end called you, awareness. You cannot negate that. You can negate everything. All identities, thoughts, you can negate. Reality will never be able to negate. Okay. And this is the process of Vedanta, Atma Vichara, that's been passed on by Adi Shankaracharya and various other enlightened masters. This is called the direct path. This is what even Ramana Maharshi taught. Whatever my master taught me, whatever I have understood, I have passed on to you. There's nothing more to give. The same thing can be explored in different ways. But if you hold up your end, there's nothing more any guru, any master, God himself can do anymore. Okay. Of course, you can continue a Shravana Manam Dhyasa. So now what happens now after this is you have a choice. You either want to continue the momentum so that various the mind becomes purified at various levels. That's only purification of the mind. Nothing like it's necessary. It's your choice. It's otherwise, it's like saying you have a choice to go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you'll maintain good health. That doesn't guarantee you will not fall ill, but you'll maintain good health. But if you don't go to gym, that's guarantee that something wrong will happen. But if you're okay telling that I'm not the body anyway, that's fine. Same thing for the mind. So there's a physiological health, psychological health. So for your psychological health, if you say that okay, I don't care if the mind is depressed, I'm always in the light that the mind is depressed, nothing happened to me, that's fine, that's very valid. But if you want the mind and the body to be in a certain condition so that you can use it better, you can involve the body in the action, service or interaction that purifies the body, which is called yagna, panchayagna, dana and tapas. You can continue. That's why the beauty of Vedanta and the beauty of even Zen is they don't worry about enlightenment. They say regardless of enlightenment, this is the lifestyle I'm going to live. Continuous Shravana Manana Nidhyasa or sadhana. They're not doing sadhana for enlightenment. It's just a way of life. Either way, the body has to live. Either it lives worrying about the world, or I can live constantly in Shravana Manana Nidhyasa, or a balance. So it's a choice. It's a conscious choice you have to make. Until now, it was all unconscious. You were just pushed. You don't know how you ended up here. You were just pushed by your internal impulses. Now you have a conscious choice. With viveka, with discrimination, choose what you want. If you want the body and mind to be in a certain health, you can use the body for dharmic activities. Then the body will start shining or reflecting more consciousness out. It doesn't make a difference to you, but your strength will increase to impact the whole. Right now, maybe you're able to impact your family members or one or two people. The more the body gets involved in dharmic activities, the body becomes an instrument for the divine. That's what Buddha is. That's what Ramakrishna is. That's what Anandamayi Ma is. Their vehicles are able to uplift many. Then you can continue Shravana Manana Nidhyasa. I have already shared the YouTube link of Light of Self Foundation, which is my master's YouTube link. He's in that moment of continuously giving talks on various subjects, many of which I have not covered, which I felt were not relevant to you for this particular time. But if you have the interest, the flair, the time, the inclination, you can associate with that group. What they have is they have many offerings, and all of them are directly under Prabhuji. You can attend his sessions directly, interact with him directly, or he has formulated various study circles where you can, it's always a group of 5 or 6 people who take up some Vedantic text and discuss and contemplate. Just so that your mind doesn't fall back into the same patterns. So these are the opportunities. If you want to know more, you can always get in touch with me, or I can put you in touch with the person of the foundation who can help you navigate through what is your desire and where you want to, how you want to engage. Apart from this, if you have any questions, you can ask. Or else we can close. So I recommend for some time, continue the momentum, continue the sitting, the nidhyasa, the satsanga, and seva. Until a point, it naturally drops. Right now, it's not even started. Okay. So continue it and grow it for some time. And when it spontaneously, you become free from even that, when you don't need it, when you don't need to go to gym and you have the 6 packs, then you can just maintain it sitting at home. Until you get the 6 packs, put some effort. But basic health is taken care of now. 6 packs is extra desire. Bonus points.
Krishna ji, when during the last part, when you said that visualize the Guru placing his hand on top of the head, I felt a trance-like state. I don't know how to describe it. This was maybe because I had attended the previous batch as well, and I was lucky to be physically present at during the last session. And when you had placed your hand on the head, and when you asked, "Who are you?" there's absolute silence. And I remember last time when I was physically there, present,
Yeah.
I was almost crying. I don't know why it happened or how.
Yeah.
It was just an outburst of, I'm not able to describe it. And today I experienced the same thing again. There was a completely kind of a hypnotized state.
What
I don't
happened to
know.
Taliban?
No, everything disappeared. It just disappeared. I don't know how. All the questions disappeared. There was a sudden silence.
That is the reality.
Absolute peace.
That is the reality. And you are worrying about dreams.
Yeah, I was wondering, like 5 minutes back, I had all those questions, and now and then suddenly everything disappeared. It was just complete silence.
That is Atma. Okay, that's what you are. And that's what you are, not only you are. That is whatever is perceived also is that only. Is that has taken this form. That has become this. Purnamadam, Purnamidam. All the apurna, all the unfairness, incompleteness, disturbance, is all in the pratibhasika. So remove the pratibhasika, that's all, through Atma Vichara. Don't worry about the Vyavaharika, don't worry about the Paramarthika. Only remove the pratibhasika through Gnana and Dhyana, Nididhyasa.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So in the next week, I know in the group I had shared, we'll have Mandukya session on the 28th. The 28th is a Saturday. So let's do it on 29th. Is that okay for everybody? 29th. I have a session for children from 4 to 5, Sri Krishna Janmashtami session. I'll finish that. And 5 o'clock we'll start. 5 o'clock India time. We'll start the Mandukya Upanishad, 5 to 7. Is everybody okay? Sheshaji, okay? Is that okay? So what else you want to know? So after Mandukya session, no more sessions from me. Then you can, if you want, you can engage with Light to Self Foundation. Sumanji, you're saying something?
No, Guruji. Last, when you say all these Aham Brahmasmi and Sarvam Khaluvida Brahma, if you have any posters or some wallpaper or something like that, I really want to make a big canvas and display it.
Canvas, okay. Yeah, there was a very nice chart made by one of I think the students of Nisargadatta Maharaj. It's a roadmap to consciousness. It sort of explains the entire journey of consciousness to projection and back. I'll share that on the group. You can probably use that. There's so many such illustrations made by some very wise people. You can use that.
Because I know these are some of those
Mahavakyas. They're called Mahavakyas.
I was going with the Rajinikanth dialogue, punch dialogues.
Yeah, they're Mahavakyas. Yeah, they're
So,
all punch dialogue.
Yeah, they're all like, it's you should, when I see those posters or those Mahavakyas, it should be like you are talking to us. You're just, come back. That's happening. You're here. You're that. All those teachings have to just be, around me when I look around and things like that.
Very true. In our Guruji's house, he's actually put all these Mahavakyas everywhere in the house. If you enter, the stickers are there everywhere. So when he's not there, at least you look at the sticker and sit silently. In my house, there's only one painting of Buddha sitting in meditation and Guruji sitting in meditation. My message is only one. Keep quiet, sit silently. Ramana Maharshi said, Summa iru. Vayamodu summa iru. One the very apart. Any doubt? Vedanta clear? All this struggle when nothing was there. All this chakkar and everything, spirituality, come find out nothing is there. Will you get something? No, didn't get anything. Whatever you had, you lost. Such a disappointing journey.
That is true, Guruji.
Yeah, at least will I get some, punya, ecstatic feeling. I see some light and God will appear in front of me. Some powers, at least mind reading ability that I can use in office. Something, at least money making power. Whatever I touch should become gold. Nothing. You just stripped down naked. Whatever you had, it's taken out. So that's why somebody, if you, Osho tells, if you go to Jesus, he'll tell, if a blind man goes to Jesus and tells, I'm blind, I can't see, Jesus will tell, take, I give you eyes, and he gives him eyes. Same person who goes to Buddha, he says, I'm blind. Buddha tells, you are blind, I have eyes, I have seen the world, nothing is there. So it's better you be blind. So Gnana is like that. It just makes everything, just shows the unreality of everything. Then it has no context, no value. If it is real, fine, we'll do something about it. But nothing is real. Nothing is real. What is real? Tell me. And what is real doesn't need your, your attention. It is there, absolute, birthless, deathless, changeless, always, infinite, blissful. It doesn't even know you exist. Okay. So this is one more of one of those remote batches. Ideally, it would have been the best if all of you were here. Even I would have loved to interact with you in person, but at least as a consolation, because of God's grace, we have Zoom and we were able to interact all this time. Hope you have found some benefit for all the time you have spent from your busy schedules. If you were here, I would shower some flowers, but the grace is always there. The grace is upon you. Guru's grace is always with you. Hold on to the gnana. That's why it's holding on to Guru's feet. Guru's feet is gnana. Hold on to the gnana and you will sail through life. Okay. Narayana, 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 Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. My pranams to all. So those of you who are attending the next session, we'll meet in the next session. And pranams to all those who will not be able to attend the session on Sunday. I'll put the message again. We'll have it on the 29th. The final Mandukya Upanishad session. The Atma Darshana session is one flavor. Upanishad is called Upanishad Yagna. The Yagna has its own, it's not ordinary. It's not, especially Upanishad or Gnana Yagna. It comes with its own force and power, because it's a momentum that's coming from time immemorial, many thousands of years. From the time that those conversations happened, the force is moving, transforming people. So the blessings of all those beings, the clarity, the push comes with that stream. Okay, it's not just something easy or ordinary to be part of the Upanishad Yagna. There are very few people who can do Upanishad Yagnas in the right way, in tune with the Vedantic teachings. It's not like watching some video on YouTube. You have to be deeply immersed in it. Then it hits you and it passes through you. And the passing through you has its own effects, which I'll talk about in the Sunday session. Pallavi, any questions? You can ask all your questions now.
Nothing. I'm very sorry if I have disrespected.
No, you can ask
any other enlightened being.
No disrespect. You can ask questions. I'm genuinely asking. You can ask questions.
No, nothing.
Because you will not have the opportunity later to ask me. You can ask Prabhuji, of course. But I highly recommend, if you have the inclination and the time, you can experience interactions and discussions with Prabhuji, my guru, and just get your mind blown. That's all. For those who are able to meditate and who like meditation, spend more time, 1 hour, 2 hours, if you have the luxury. It has a deep transformation on the mind, especially nididhyasa. When I say meditation, not just observing the breath, not becoming witness. It is to stay as Brahman. Okay? The ego completely dissolves. And when you open your eyes, it's the same. You see consciousness. You talk to consciousness. Okay? It's non-dual. There's no duality of any sort. Deep is just bliss in existence and silence. Spend time in Shravana Manana Nidhyasa, Dhyana, Seva. That's it. Sumanji, you're raising your hand.
I don't know, Guruji. You're my first guru. I had absolute no knowledge, no information that so much of knowledge existed also.
Yeah.
I don't know why I sat here on the very first day. He made me sit, he got some information. Maybe for one or two sessions, I was actually clueless. Then one bulb switched on and everything, just the chain reaction started. And you're my true guru. You're like whatever the definition says, removing the darkness, taking you to the light.
Okay.
You are that perfect or absolute one guru.
Okay.
I don't know if I can take any other guru. I think your words, your saying, the discussions, the things that how beautifully you could get my confusion and you could say inside outside and all that.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, but you understand the guru is not a person. The one who's speaking through me is the one who's speaking through all masters. I have not told anything that my master has told different. Neither has he told anything that his master has told, not told. They're all in line with the Shastras, and they're all enlightened beings speak the same language. Please understand. Be it Buddha, be it Ananda Mahima, be it Ramana Maharshi, my guru, me, anybody. There's only the same thing to tell. But we'll have our individual flavors, that's all. Maybe I will speak, because I'm an artist, I will speak in the language of art. My master is an engineer, he will speak in the language of engineering. Tomorrow, if you start speaking, you will speak in your flavor. So there, like I said, there's no force. Only if you want to explore, you can. Otherwise, there is nothing more. Please don't think I have hid something from you. There's something more secret. Nothing is there. There is nothing else apart from you are not the body, mind, intellect. You are consciousness. Okay, there are different prakriyas to understand that. Mandukya Upanishad is Avasthatraya Prakriya, which is understanding the three states of consciousness. Then there is Darpana Prakriya, about understanding the reflection. So there are various prakriyas. If you have that academic interest in Vedanta, you can explore all that. And all that are illustrated very beautifully by my master. So for those who are inclined, who have the interest, after you start listening to me, you will forget that I existed. Like how, like let's say there's some couple who is married. The husband finds a new young woman. He completely forgets the wife. Like that, you'll completely forget me after you find my source. Shesharji, any comments?
Really, Guruji. This is the 22nd of August. If you were to compare to the 20th August and 21st August, there's a big difference.
Line is breaking.
Sorry?
Line, I couldn't hear anything.
Ah, Could you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was saying like this is August 2021.
Yeah.
If I were to compare my life of August 2020,
Yeah. Okay.
in 1 year, I don't know what has all happened.
Yeah. This will grow. Like I said, it'll expand. The more it opens up, it's like a flower blossoming. Okay. The grace, the initiation, the Diksha, Shaktipat is beginning. Till now, you've not lived. Till now, you were a corpse walking with programs. Once the centers are open only, now real life starts. Okay. Then it slowly starts blossoming. What is the blossoming? Nobody can tell. The universe is full of possibilities. The best possibility for you will happen. Whatever is best for you only will happen. And you will be completely detached from it. It will be happening, but it will not matter to you. Maybe people will fall at your feet. It will not matter to you. Maybe all the things that you wanted, were begging for, will be in your lap. It will not matter to you. Maybe the worst is happening. The war is happening. War will come to your door. It will not matter to you. Time, space stop affecting you. Rahu Kala stops affecting you. Bad space, bad time stops affecting you. You will start affecting the spaces. Okay, Tirtham Karoti Tirthani. Where you walk, where you sit, the water that you drink will become the holy place. The words that you speak will become the Upanishad. Okay. That is how Agnani lives.
This experience is truly, what do you call it as? First-hand experience or example that what has to happen will happen. We were supposed to get this knowledge from you. So universe took all the effort and it made it happen.
You tried to escape. You went to whatever London or Dublin. I caught you from there also.
Yeah, that's what. See, this example we can really, it is like a reminder.
Paris. Sureka ran away to Paris. Again, you had to come back. Then Pallaviji went to, what is that? Reading. Is it? Then Delhi, Hyderabad. Nobody's from Bangalore. Only Beena is from Bangalore.
Yeah.
Where you'll run?
You can tell Pallavi, it's okay.
I don't know. Pallavi from Reading, right?
Yeah, no, you don't have to say Pallavi ji every time.
So all of you ran away to all these far places thinking God will not find you. God will hunt you down. People run after God. Okay, everybody runs, or temples, tirthyatras, all places. When the right time comes, that's why I said, when the time comes, the master will appear. When you're ready. And when you're really ready, the master will disappear. In the sense that master and you merge. There's no you and master anymore. That's called mukti. So don't make master also bondage. Master is supposed to be mukti.
No, for you, Prabhuji did not disappear. You are still with him, right?
No, I disappeared. I'm with you now. The last many years, almost a decade, I spent my weekends with him. Now I spend my weekends with all of you. It's been more than 2 to 3 years since I've stopped spending time with him. When you're really ready, the master disappears. You become the master.
But as Sumanji said, for us, you are our first guru.
So it's hard to replace that with anything else.
No,
Like
I never said replace. I'm just telling you there is a stream flowing. Since this stream is going to shut down, there is a stream flowing. You can utilize the stream, and the water is the same in both the streams. Whatever you feel in this stream, bathing in this stream, you will feel there also, because it is that stream that is flowing here. Please understand. It's not two
even
different streams. Same Ganga. It's called Gnana Ganga, right? Taking a dip in Gnana Ganga purifies you. And Gnana Ganga is only one.
even today when you were telling us to visualize the guru's hand on our head, uh, the, the I could see only your face coming in.
Yeah.
I could visualize your hand on top of my head,
It's good.
and spontaneously I said my pranams to you, and it just happened spontaneously in my head. I was just visualizing your face, and I was bowing down. It just happened spontaneously. So
none of you have to worry. Okay, none of you have to worry. What Guru is not a person. In whatever form you want to associate with the Guru, mentally you can associate. Doesn't matter. It makes no difference to your receiving the grace. Absolutely no difference. So whatever you are comfortable with, continue that. You will. The grace is already flowing. If it was not flowing, you would not have come this far at all. Please understand, it is not easy or ordinary to come till here. Not come to my house. To listen to this teaching. This teaching is called Ganga, Gnana Ganga, Atma Vichara. That which liberates you. You will get teachings that will give you many other things. But only Atma Vichara, Atma Gnana, Vedanta Gnana will free you. Okay, it's immaterial from where it's coming. As long as it's coming and you've received it. Okay, so all of you are blessed, you received it. And
Thank you, sir.
my deepest prayers that may all of you become even free in various aspects of life, not only psychologically, it may be in your outer life as well, maybe financially free, free in various aspects of life, so that you can gloriously express and live as your consciousness.
Thank you.
Krishna ji, thank you so much. I mean, like that's a very small word, although, but then by the grace of my mantra guru, which I have got 11 years back, but then I had very few interactions with my guru. Hardly, in fact, I'll say hardly had any interaction with my guru, because as I explained in my last class, but then I had so many questions within, for which I didn't have any answers, or I didn't have any clue like where to go to get these answers. But then fortunately, by the blessings of God or Guru, you came in somehow. I came to know, and this is my second batch, and in fact, everything right now, I feel like the knowledge which I have got so far has
Have I
cleared
improved from the first
every
batch to
doubt.
second batch?
Sorry?
Have I improved from the first batch to second batch? Third batch?
Oh, no,
Third
no.
batch.
Okay.
No, have I? Is the teaching better?
No, no.
No, not better.
No, in fact, it's nothing to be compared about the batches, but then all my questions, all my internal, what I will say, like not having interacted with my guru, the feeling was kind of, suppressing my lot of feelings. I am not able to express maybe in a better manner, but then you came in, and by the grace of guru, so this is a flow which was just explaining to Bina. So it happens, and it happened, and it naturally will happen to everyone. So I feel really, really blessed that whatever has happened is really has touched what I wanted to get, and now I'm absolutely free from whatever doubts I had, and only contemplating and nididhyasa, as you said, and to grow from here, and maybe to help. I'll not say help, but yes, if somebody I feel like is interested, to make them reach where they should be. So you have already shared the link. As I told you, few of them have expressed and they were shown their interest.
Very nice.
So if you are not starting any batch, maybe I'll introduce them to your Guruji in that link.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and again my sincere pranam. Hope someday I'll be physically meeting you if at all possible.
Yeah.
But then my take my dandavat pranam at your feet.
Yeah, even I hope to someday meet all of you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting late for everybody. We'll close. We'll meet next Sunday.
Thank you.
Sunday, 5 to 7. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Hari Om.